Academics, the Academy channel, and of course the meta pages that we usually stream from. Put a little light on my face, pause. Okay. Somebody said 2-hour stream. You wish. Y'all niggas would stone me if I did a 2-hour stream, right? Like, imagine me giving y'all 2 hours and be like, peace, catch y'all later. Yeah, all right. It's all good. We're going to be locked in as long as I can stay up, right? Okay. Yeah, so I think where we left off last night, I think I tabled a few topics, so we're going to get to some of those today, and we will make sure we get to them. I'll give you, let me see, is there any updates from yesterday? Oh, I talked to Cardi B. I don't think I'm going to tell you what happened, but. Realest journalist in the game, that's all I say. Realist in the game. You know you're the realist when they say, how the fuck? You know, it's all good. The boy Ack in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I heard DDG crashed out on Joe. We might start with that today. So earlier today, oh, my mic is low. Mic check, mic check. Is it too low? Hold up. Hold up. I have to get on my shout and shit today. Mic check, mic check. It says too low. Yo. Yo. All right, we should be good. All right. my bad. So yeah. Number one. Yeah, let's start on the Joe Budden and DDG issue. So Joe called me today, and Joe said, yo, Ack, I watched your video, which means he just watched our streaming, and he said, Ack, I seen what you said about DDG. I seen what you said, and I basically told him, I said, listen, man, Joe, I think there's some striking similarities between you and DDG. I think DDG right now is upset because, you know, he's been getting killed this entire time he's been with this young woman. They look at her as a princess, like she could do no wrong. Not that she's done wrong, but they look at him like he's a piece of shit. So when he finally is trying to break the news in a way that, you know, these people don't hate him more, you know, he gets backlash from the dudes. And Joe was one of those people. Also, Joe's like, who the F is this guy? I don't know this guy type of shit, right? And essentially what I said in that video, I was like, Joe, there's some striking resemblance here, right? Now, I don't think that DDG's talent as a rapper is equal to Joe Budden's talent as a rapper. I think Joe is a very talented elite MC. Definitely a guy who would be on all-time list if we're talking about just, you know, rapping ability. However, this is the similarities I've seen between Joe and someone like DDG. Well, first and foremost, you know, the same way how Joe said he didn't know DDG, I think DDG kind of has like this, well, maybe a little bit in common with Nick Cannon or even Bow Wow as well. Like, yeah, I might say he corny, but he get bad bitches. You get what I'm saying? Joe, at a point, people thought he was batting above his average in terms of the women he would get. He would get these really attractive women that later on other guys lusted afterwards. So, you know, that fits like that criterion. And you might be like, nigga, that's not that much of a comparison. Well, I think the second and bigger comparison that kind of shows some association, or that's why I said, you know, it reminds me of Joe a bit, is that, you know, Joe is somebody who battled very early on in his career between content and music. Joe Budden used to do Hot 97. Joe Budden started Blog TV. By the way, Blog TV essentially not started Blog TV, but he was using Blog TV as a rapper, showcasing his life. A lot of people feel like that was a early iteration that inspired love in hip hop, right? Again, he tells the story all the time while doing Hot 97. Now he has, like, you know, one of the top podcasts in the world. But back when he was doing Hot 97, apparently his label told him, yo, you can't do music and content. You got to pick one. I think DDG kind of faced similar, like, you know, he's at a fork in the road, and he's been there a few times in his career. Well, does he want to continue vlogging? Like, he's an OG vlogger when it comes to, like, black vloggers. He's one of the most successful ones. Does he, if music is his passion, Does he have to quit vlogging or quit doing content to be taken serious? I mean, you know, and I've seen him wrestle with this so much. In recent times, I've seen him say rappers have to ignore their fans to become more popular, become more successful, because he looks at it like, yo, I give these fans all parts of my life. I react to comments, I do streams at times, and it feels like when I drop my music, you know, they don't look at it with the mystique. DDG. They don't look at it the same. I'll play what he said. Here,
because once you meet me, you're going to feel like you ain't really got to. I don't want to meet you because once you meet me, you're going to feel like you ain't really got to support me no more.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why a lot of artists that win,
Hey, by the way, thank you. Who just said I got them through the last year? Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate you. If I've helped you get through a tough night, a breakup, a tough shift, working overtime, you driving cross country, I appreciate you just like I hope you appreciate me. All right, so it's mutual.
In the industry, because they don't even interact with their supporters. We in a different type of ball game where, you know, we streaming, we YouTubing, all this other stuff, so they see us all the time. But when you don't see somebody, it makes you want to support them even more. Like, put it like this: you don't know who made Gallery Department, but if, let's say, Deshae gave you his merch, you gonna pick up this motherfucker before you pick up Deshae shirt. When you giving them free promo,
right?
You giving Chrome Heart free promo. It's because you don't see them. Now, if you met Chrome Heart, you met the nigga that made Gallery Department, y'all go out to eat, y'all go out to the club together, y'all kicking it, he giving you free clothes, but you ain't wearing it like that no more. That's the problem, bro. Like, that's why, you know, I'm telling myself this too. Like, it needs to be a separation in between, because when you get too close to somebody that idolize you, it makes them not idolize you no more.
Okay, so I would directly argue against what DDG is saying, and I'll give you the explanation why I would argue against what DDG is saying. He's basically saying fans take you for granted when you show them too much love or you show them too much attention. I think he's speaking on his experience, right? Because I think he's toiled with the idea of, maybe I should stop vlogging that people could take me serious as a rapper. Or I think every rapper or every artist has a unique thing with their fans. Playboy Carti, he's not the guy to answer every question to his fans. He's not going to do Q&As. Yes, he's wildly successful, but that's not the only mold of how people deal with their fans. Look at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is the exact proof that counteracts his example. Nicki Minaj is probably the most interactive of any artist with their fans. Nicki Minaj knows all her stan pages. She talks to them like they're her children. They have secret codes. She answers them when they tweet at, like, she's very responsive. Not only that, somebody put me on game to this too. Nicki Minaj, these days, she don't even go live that often on her Instagram, which has probably 100 million people following her. You know what she does now? She goes live just like how we do this, and we do, you know, this is for core people who follow me, like this streaming stuff for the most part. She goes live on an app called Stationhead, and she's talking to 8,000 barbs. And those 8,000 barbs, I looked on it one day, somehow they have it wrapped up in an app where you could buy her music directly from the app. So the barbs to support her, you know how you guys donate subs here, or you might send a donation in. Her fans are buying her music right there, and she's talking to them, and they're spamming comments, and they could send stuff in to ask questions. She's talking to them. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nicki's relationship with her fans, even though I do think barbs are usually batshit crazy, but her relationship with her fans is not one of mystique. Her relationship with them is, hey, we're a tight-knit family and we rock out. So what do I have to say? I think it comes down to two things. Number one, I think everyone who is able to have this mystique makes great music for those people. So number one, you got to make amazing music for the people that you're trying to appeal to. So you can't make subpar music, you can't make mid music, you can't make trash music, right? If Carti was making pure trash, right, and his fan base just wasn't engaged in that anymore, his engagement would fall off massively. Now, granted, I do think part of what Cardi's doing, Cardi's fans aren't only just fans of his music. They're fans of his fashion. They're fans of actually the mystique. That's not often, though, that you see that. You get what I'm saying? The point is, I think you always have to have good music, no matter if you interact with your fans or not. Number two, I would definitely say is how you cultivate that audience. Now, and if I was arguing this with DDG, I would say this. You built a fan base off vlogging first that, it's always easier to convert a fan than to make a new fan. So you're trying to convert people who are used to a close, intimate, day-to-day update, knowing your relationship, seeing you buy your mom a car, seeing you do all these things all the time. When you now are trying to make the crossover to being just straight up musician, they still expect that type of like fan to artist or fan to person they're being a fan of interaction. They don't want you to be mystical, right? And that's why I would say it depends on how you build that support or that support group. If they're used to one thing, they're not going to like it that you change it in the ninth inning. And so I'm going to disagree with him with that. Anyway, he was going at Joe Budden, and I seen him. He cut a podcast. And by the way, he does a podcast too. I don't know if you know. Okay. There's a page called Chat Nigga 101, and I thought this was like a Chat Nigga page, but it says Joe Budden clips and yes, Joe Budden. So I don't know if it's a Chat Nigga page or maybe a hybrid. Who knows? Anyway, let's see if we could play. Here we go. We have DDG who is responding to Joe Budden. And again, remember, I told y'all today, and I think Joe's going to shoot his podcast tomorrow because it comes out on Wednesday. I told Joe, like, we had a conversation, and Joe kind of told me, you know what? I'm not going to go too hard. I'm going to take it light, given the understanding I have now. Now, that's before I heard DDG went even crazier today. I don't think he heard this, or I think DDG also streamed and said some stuff. So let's just play this.
Well, see, that's a real nigga.
I know who Baby Smooth is, by the way. I was just giving y'all an example.
But Joe Budden, he would have dissed the nigga for no reason. Like, why? What'd I do to you?
That's what I'm saying. Thing about people like Joe Budden, and I know this is true and a fact, he's a lonely man. That man can't leave the house. That man can't go to a club. He got to stay in there with his little girl or whoever he fucking with. He got to stay with her, and he got to just stay in the crib and smoke hookah. He type of nigga smoke hookah, little freaky ass nigga. He probably smoke hookah in the crib.
He probably smoked cigars.
Put on booty shorts and sit in the crib. And the only reason why I was skeptical about doing this is because I have a lot of homosexual fans and bisexual fans, and I never want y'all to ever feel like I'm ever homophobic or ever like, against y'all. And I have LGBTQ. That's how you say it. LGBTQ. It's a tongue twister. LGBTQ plus friends. Like, I have nothing against y'all whatsoever, but I didn't know this. I looked this up today. Joe Budden is bisexual. I swear, I looked it up.
Now, if you guys don't know where that came from, Joe Budden bisexual. Joe Budden has said that he is bisexual. Let's see.
Hey, it's okay now.
How do I spread this news? How do I spread the word?
I think you got to call the CEO.
Yo,
Yeah,
listen.
You gotta make sure it's okay.
I like guys and girls. Spread the word. I'm down.
Now, I saw some of his exes.
Now, what's so funny? I wish, sadly, the people who are usually the biggest promoter of trying to either call a straight man gay or not even seeing the joke or whatever when somebody is like even playing around with that. Clearly, I'll tell you why Joe said it. Black women are the number one. With all due respect, and shout out to my chat queens, but black women love to believe all men are gay. Matter of fact, the guy who they were fucking for 10 years, day one after they break up, they call him gay. So I don't know what that fascination is, but whatever. Anyway, Joe Budden did say he was bisexual. And, I listened to the Joe Budden podcast, salute to my guy. If you found the context in that was that he realized if you're in the LGBTQ community, you're not cancelable, right? So if you're transgender, if you're bisexual, or if you're gay, they don't cancel you. Like, for example, Saucy Santana just did a whole rant about me. He called me the F word. It's a word I can't say. They treat the F word as more protected than the word nigga. If I say the F word, I'm done. I would be labeled as a homophobe. But if you're in that community, you can let it fly, right? So it is what it is. So he said he was bi because, this was when people were a little bit like, people are getting canceled for whatever. So he's trying to get into the protected community. And by the way, for any of my supporters who are LGBTQ, again, I'm maybe not be speaking to your situations here, but within the entertainment industry, please trust and believe that if you are LGBTQIA+, you are definitely protected for obvious reasons. Anyway, so that's what he's talking about. Let's get back to this. And by the way, he did come out. I don't know if I got to play that for y'all to believe he's not gay. You know what I mean? Because he tries. Look.
Yo, I'm not gay. I'm coming in.
Stop playing then.
No, y'all need to learn how to play. But I'm not here to blame it on y'all.
You can't remotely.
I'm not here to blame
Anything not to.
Y'all blamed it on that fuckity fuck ass blog site, few of them. But accountability is not about that. So I ain't putting it on y'all. But y'all's awkward silence make me be seen as extra. Silent. Get started. I am not gay or bisexual. I want to apologize. I'm flattered.
Some niggas been on your ass.
They've been on you. Okay, so he denied that he is. Anyway, let's get back to this.
That's
Hey,
why
dog.
I'm like, bro, I don't even want to
talk about you no more, folk.
Hey, that's why we lie.
I can't talk about you.
Hey,
You ain't
I
my
get this.
kind.
I get this to the your community, Joe Budden. Y'all get folks gone. I don't want no smoke. So past this podcast, like I don't really want to dig deep or talk about you jumping on your baby mama's stomach to get rid of the fetus. Like I ain't trying. I'm not talking about that. No, this is just public
This
record.
can't be.
No.
This really this.
He was. No,
Bro,
listen to
I'm
me.
not gonna lie.
Listen to me.
I hope you watch this.
Watch this.
Listen to me. I
No,
know
no,
you don't.
this is the
you
craziest
probably want to
part.
say something crazy. I don't know this motherfucker. Like you be dissing nigga when you don't know him. But look, listen to me. Look at me like an angel. You need to stop. You need to sit down. You need to pray, my dad. You is a monster. What's wrong with him?
He just like.
Why? Wait. He did what? Say that one more time.
No, it was. Am I correct? That's what the clip. Yep, there was a clip. Allegedly,
I hope that
as
wasn't
long as you
real.
throw that A word in there, is good.
They better not be
Allegedly, this man was playing Pump It Up and jumping on his baby mama's stomach to get rid of the baby.
That
That is like crazy.
if that's real, bro.
That's crazy.
You need to go to jail. That's not even funny though.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
And
not
it's
lying though. Like I love my baby daughter so much, and every night when I was take care of my baby mama, I used to lay my head on the stomach.
Wait, somebody said they watched Joe in here, and they claim he says a lot of sus shit, and then they say Joe refers to his 23-year-old son as my baby. Wait, talking about your son and referring to him as your baby is gay? Wait. That's not gay. That's his son. He used to change that little nigga diaper. Like, yo, come on, bro. Y'all are too wild, bro.
Listen to my daughter talk to her like she was already here. I couldn't imagine doing that. Like I couldn't imagine even seeing that. Like, bro, I can't even talk about that. Not while I'm drinking the liquor.
Allegedly, y'all. Allegedly. The only joke in that sentence was the Pump It Up part. But he definitely was allegedly jumping on the mother of his child's unborn baby, jumping on his stomach to get rid of the baby. This is a terrible
All right,
person. I don't even want to talk about it no more. It's just I just don't have respect for you, Joe Budden. I never did, but I would have never just got online and dissed you because I don't know you. Just like you don't know me. I only know you from the radio when my mama ain't had no CD to put in the car. That's the only place I know you from.
I
Pump,
ain't never
pump,
listened
pump
to
it
that
up.
song.
I only know you from jumping on the trampoline and they play Pump It Up. And I go to the
never
little
jumped
jumpy
on the
houses
trampoline
and
with
shit. That's the only thing I knew. And I was surprised. I found out you made Pump It Up today.
I didn't even know that was him. I swear on my life.
I didn't know either.
You might be an industry plant though, cause like that song is like that's your main song, nigga. Like, is you not a plant? Like, what else you gonna do?
I ain't gonna lie. I hate this on both fronts. Listen, you don't get far in this industry without being well versed and being educated about what's happening, even if you're not the most educated because it's not your realm or field. But DDG, you know who Joe Budden is. Joe Budden, you know who DDG is. Maybe you don't know every song by each other. You don't know the catalogs. But this back and forth acting like, oh, I didn't know you existed before now. Cap on both sides.
Dude, like, I gotta listen to the rest of his music. I gotta see who he really is. Cause you ain't Pump It Up.
No.
That's too nice for you. You a whole monster. Nah, what happened to Pump It Up?
Yeah.
You ain't pumping shit up no more. Nah, like, yes, you is. You say you like everything. Yeah, that boy. And he be having his ass get pumped. After he get done, he gotta get that bitch cleaned out with a vacuum cleaner.
Freaky ass nigga. Well, I wrote like some notes down or something.
Oh, shit.
We gonna keep talking about Joe?
We don't have to keep talking about Joe. But
If somebody named Joe, you know they up the sun already.
yeah.
You can't even mind Joe. Like, his name Joe. Like, you sneaky already. G.I. Joe name, nigga. You sneaky.
Matter of fact, I expect this from you, Joe, but I ain't gonna lie. This nigga is I don't know what he do. This nigga is a rapper. He's a bisexual podcaster. And what else he do? A co-host on academic show?
If he was watching this.
Hey, the hood watch academics. Hope you know that, bro. You was never the reason we was watching Everyday Struggle. Never. You was never the reason. Ever. Whatsoever, bro.
I ain't never watched nothing because of him.
Never.
I just want to point out, thank you for the compliment, DDG, but I definitely think Joe pulled his weight as well. I got to be honest. I think so. You know what I mean? Even though, boy, Big Ack was in the building. Not going to lie. But,
I never clicked on her, but you got a little podcast community that I want. I'm going to take it.
Hey, our podcast doing 200K. We'll take a couple
We're
of your
doing the same.
people
We're doing the
quick.
same views as you, and we got 30,000 subscribers. So you should sense the motion. But we finna up it. If you follow Joe Budden TV, come over here, hit subscribe. It's completely free. We're gonna put you on game. We gonna have guests on here. I know he don't have no guest on there because nobody fuck with him. He just got the same little old niggas on his shit. So we gonna have nice guests over here, young guests. We gonna vibe out. We gonna have fun. This is gonna be a great podcast. We would love for you to subscribe. Our goal is 100,000 subscribers. Please, we're on the way. Subscribe. It's 100% free.
Don't you want to say you part of the first 100K? That's a good feeling, man. Trust me. We're going to have the plaque right here behind us.
Yeah,
So.
we're gonna have Pump It Up his ass. I listened to that bitch today. I really listened to it. You ever listen to like an old song and then like you really start listening to the lyrics and then you understand that it was honestly ass. Like a lot of niggas back in the day, y'all was getting away with some bullshit, but I don't want to talk about it no more. I hate that nigga.
Yeah, Joe Budden.
Matter of fact, Slapbox. Let's
You
do
should
that.
never mess with him.
Bro, let's
you should
Slapbox.
you should
Hey,
dare
I ain't
say
even
nothing
start the
about him.
stream yet. Well, I got clips. I'm finna react. I'm finna.
ain't gonna
I need at
stop.
least 100,000 off of you. That's it. And then YN's gonna be in your DM. Everybody watching this right now, report his page. Matter of fact,
No.
Let's get him up
Look,
outta here.
Tell him
I get
something.
you. You don't know
tell
who you
him
messing
something
with.
mean or something.
You
like,
don't know,
that-
bro.
that is- we ain't gonna do like that.
Bro, I have YNs that they do crazy shit.
We don't need to act that crazy.
Allegedly, they doxing niggas. They doing whatever.
We don't
They
need
doing
them to act that
but I
crazy.
ain't gonna do
Look,
that.
push down.
Listen, no. Cease fire, y'all. Roast the little old nigga a little bit.
That's all he needs.
Wiggle the nigga up a little bit. Don't do nothing too crazy. But he need to know who he talking to. He need to do his little research. He need to know who he fucking with. So
By the way, this is like great content for them to finally sit down. And I do think DDG should appear on the Joe Budden podcast or Vice versa, I'm gonna tell you why. They had Ruby Rose up there looking like she was a diva.
Rustle the nigga up, let him know how we rocking. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can probably say anything to him, like, you know how he type.
Okay. Now apparently, DDG went on Twitch, and if you guys don't follow him on Twitch, make sure you go follow DDG on Twitch. And apparently he went crazy again. Let's see what he said.
For nothing.
And to be honest, I haven't really been, like, me and Hallie don't even post together. You've been seeing Halo, my son, that's it. Y'all don't really see me and Hallie posting TikToks, dancing each other. We was doing that last year. Like, y'all only see me with Hallie. Appreciate that, for real.
What?
We appreciate that, for real.
With something that's going to get Shorty upset.
Hold on. Let me shout out the Gifted. Bigger matches or needs. So, okay, my bad. All right, hold on. All right, go in there right now. Go in there right now. I'm about to redo.
I don't know what's going on here.
Old ass nigga, she's not fucking with you. And I want to clarify this because I got a lot of older fans. When I get on this old nigga, I'm not coming at y'all. Okay, especially women. Black don't crack at all. This man has a dirty soul. He needs to be reminded that he's going to die in 30 years. And that's just by, let me say that. I don't want to say that in a way like something's going to happen to him.
Hey, I like the back and forth. I will say, though, and I keep saying, DDG, that's not a diss. Joe's 40, I believe, or was it 44, I think? If he's 44 and he dies in 30 years, obviously, I don't even want to speak nothing like that into existence. Joe's my man. But that would be him at 74. They just call that a natural death. Like, if you die at 74, no one's going to be like, oh, my God, he was gone too soon. They're going to be like, okay, that was a natural death. That was, okay, I see what's going on. Like, hey. So I don't know if that's a diss, saying, hey, you're going to die a natural death.
I'm going to just show y'all in person. Life expectancy.
Thoughts, views, and opinions.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You don't make them jokes about me, bro. That's predatory, for real. Now I understand why you're talking about me. You a freak. I'm not bisexual, Joe. Don't say nothing like that to me. It's gonna become another sexual assault case in a minute. I know you got one already. I will file another one. Leave to sit here and talk about a man and what he's doing in any way, shape, or form. You don't have a nigga. You can't post your nigga.
Oh, shit.
But
Look at you rapping. Fuck out of here.
really?
Oh, he going crazy.
Oh.
Square up.
I not shooting. I'm not shooting.
Where did I go? Where did I?
Because I know
I will.
it still got to come out, though.
I'll fly her out.
It's in our relationship. When you pick up your phone, you shouldn't say, after careful consideration, me and my partner have decided to. Your phone. Niggas with penises shouldn't speak that way.
Oh.
Well, because she's a different way, and hopefully I get to look clout chase. Time I see his name, it's attached to hers, and it's typically in some type of clout chaser fashion. So that makes me look at him a different way, and hopefully I get to look at him a lot less now that they've broken.
Well, she's extremely high pro. She's high pro. How's a nigga putting that statement out?
Well, he's not done putting statements out.
Oh.
Well, because he ain't looked down at his dick. Niggas with penises.
Bro, this nigga is really like, he's weird, bro.
Okay. I think I get the gist of it.
Oh. Dad, why did he cheat on your ass? I just want to do something nice for her.
Okay.
Go to the gym.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you see a real nigga. What's up?
It's giving.
Oh my God. And he flooding.
Yeah, you see a real nigga. What's up?
Oh my God. This man has capris on, ankles out. Whoa. He really thought I'm finna kill him with the green today. Y'all sub this woman up, please. Let's get her some subscribers. Please. This man is averaging 100,000 views unless, or he might have nothing bad to say. I ain't gonna pause right there. I don't want to pause right there. I'm not trying to pause right there.
Looking like a.
Where's this video?
Oh my God, what are those? One thing you are wrong about is letting him leave out the crib like that. You wrong for letting him walk out the crib. Betty. DDG, respectfully, you dragging this. I'm not dragging it. Naheem, you know how. More.
All right, okay.
Why would you even go on?
All right. Enough. Okay. Petty shit, and DDG knows how to drag the content. He is dragging it. And shit. That's what we content creators do. Again, I think they'll talk eventually, and I hope they do. All right? Okay. Brothers. Could somebody tell me why I've heard that Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna have turned down Coachella? This is the newest thing that's came out. They're saying that Coachella is down bad because they both try to get, well, not they both. Coachella tried to get a headliner, and we all know Coachella is like almost it's the higher tier of like a Rolling Loud, right? So, you have Rolling Loud, and then you have Coachella, and Coachella is usually just a bigger deal. Like, I can't remember how much. I don't know when Travis got headlined it. When did Travis headline Coachella? When did Travis Scott headline Coachella? It wasn't. I had heard, or maybe it was 2022 though. But apparently Travis had charged these niggas like $9-10 million, which is like wild to hear. But if you think about how much they're charging for them tickets, like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Anyway, news came down today, and I guess I got to find a new site because they're hating. News came down today that Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna have declined to headline Coachella. And they haven't said why they declined, but I think we could kind of assume why they declined. Kendrick Lamar is going to be, first of all, when is Coachella? Let me see. Coachella 2025. When is Coachella? Oh, it's in April. The Super Bowl is going to be in February. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they could pay Kendrick or Rihanna. I'm going to just keep it a beam with you. I don't think they can pay him. Now, the news is, and I'll just read the news first. Kendrick and Rihanna have reportedly declined to headline Coachella 2025. They said fans looking forward to catch Kendrick or Rihanna at Coachella 2025 will be sorely disappointed after the two A-listers have reportedly declined the opportunity to serve as next year headliners. Sources tell Bloomberg that the two passed on the opportunity for different reasons. Dot is already confirmed to headline the Super Bowl 2025, which is February, while Rihanna, the 2023 Super Bowl headliner, isn't interested in the big payout nor exposure. It is also reported that Kendrick Lamar is plotting a stadium tour. However, nothing is confirmed as of this writing. We'll talk about that in a second, but I will say this, and for all the K-bots, the K-barbs, this is where you could like get happy, because I'm gonna tell y'all a fact that helps your artist. Kendrick not being so accessible, from what I've heard at some of these events, have gotten him paid a lot. Like for example, and I guess this might be snitching, but who cares? So every year, every year they do this thing called Cannes, and Cannes is usually when I think a lot of come on, Variety, stop playing with me. Cannes, I think is it Cannes Music Festival or whatever. Anyway, here's the point. All these motherfucking industry people go to Cannes. Half of them just fuck each other, and the rest of the half like do businesses and supposedly network. Okay, nigga. You know when I felt like shit, somebody that worked at Spotify told me that they paid Kendrick Lamar $4 million to perform 30 minutes at Cannes for a private group. I said, what the fuck? Nigga, my contract, I'm not getting paid $4 million this year, and I got to give y'all like 72, actually it was like 100 podcasts. Actually more than that. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas gave Kendrick $4 million for a 30-minute performance, nigga? I was tight. All right, come on. This website's acting the fuck up. So Kendrick's exclusivity, and this is for the K-bots. Y'all can run with this. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna give y'all something because I know y'all been just too heavily focused on hating on Drake. I'm gotta give you something about your artist that y'all could just yes. What the fuck is up with this website? Okay, yeah, they don't like me blocking the ads. Yeah, so back in 2022, Kendrick wasn't performing nowhere, and apparently he was gonna have some big performance. I can't remember when. He was gonna have some big performance. Oh, was this? I don't know when this was. He was gonna have some big performance, but he didn't perform nowhere, and for whatever reason, he was like mad people wanted him to perform. Spotify's, geniuses over there, love y'all Spotify, my babies. They showed up and they were at Cannes. So what happens is these big companies go there and they have all these festivities trying to, kind of encourage advertisers, this and third, to come fuck with them. And one of their things was having performers. So their performers, the headliner was Kendrick Lamar. Now, I spoke with one of the people. I won't tell you who. I spoke with one of the people. Actually, I spoke to the person who booked Kendrick Lamar. And when they told me the price they booked Kendrick Lamar for, I threw up in my goddamn mouth, nigga. I said, $4 million fucking dollars for what? But yeah, so again, if he's getting paid $4 million for that, and this is in 2022, now I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Coachella would have to cough up over $10 million. Now, Coachella, I believe, is a multi-weekend event. So it's like, right? Am I wrong? Coachella multi-weekend. Yo, Chad, who be just snitching on the industry more than me? Like, I be coming here with all this shit. I tell you who Cardi be fucking. I come over here and tell y'all who's getting dropped. Chad, I ain't gonna lie. After me, there will be no more. It's so good. Yeah. So it's a multi-weekend type of joint, right? So this is one weekend, and then this is the other weekend. So I think that the headliner performs at both weekends. Yeah, you gotta give Kendrick over $10 million. You get what I'm saying? Now, I seen a site run that, look, all right, let's read this. Coachella's become a victim of his own success. Let's read into it. Now, I don't know if money's going to be an issue. It said, for kids growing up in L.A., attending Coachella is a rite of passage. By the way, this is true. All the rich kids in L.A. go to Coachella. It's kind of like in the Valley. It's specifically there for a reason. Some of these people take helicopters. Apparently, when Coachella's happening, all these rich kids, Calabasas and third, private jets, a lot of shit happens. Damn, my little skeleton fell off. But yeah, people go out and they go check out Coachella. So, the price of the tickets are higher than like a Rolling Loud, and it's seen as a little bit more pristine. So like the performers, if you headline Coachella, like, and I'm spitballing here, I've heard that the headliner for Rolling Loud is like $4 or $5 million. The headliner for Coachella, like last I heard, was about $8 million. Right now, granted, if it's Kendrick at this point, you gotta pay 10. You know what I'm saying? So just to put in perspective what a headliner looks like. Who's the headliner? It's basically a festival that have a bunch of people on the thing. The guy with the biggest font, the person's performing last, right? Like, that, right? Okay, so cool. Let's read this article real quick. For kids growing up in L.A., attending Coachella is a rite of passage. The cool kids got to go to high school, while those of us who worked on the high school newspaper didn't make it until college. By 2011, my first year at the festival, Coachella had become the single most important musical festival in North America, if not the world. I mean, I think, didn't Frank Ocean perform here? Like, I think they gave him a bag. I could tell y'all, I have it in my email how much they gave that nigga. Frank Ocean, Coachella. Or was he scheduled to perform? He never did. Frank Ocean don't show up nowhere. So they gave this nigga the bag and a half. This is why this nigga, Coachella be hitting niggas with the bag so crazy. Yo, Variety's hating on me today. All right, fuck you, Variety. Okay, cool. Coachella be giving niggas the bag so much, it incentivizes you not to do no other concerts, or just like, because think about this, right? And just think about this. And this is why, like, certain artists, there's mad ways to skin a cat, right? So Drake makes $320 million on his own tour. If you're gonna book Drake, you're spending multi-millions anyway. If you're gonna book him, could Drake headline Coachella? Of course. I don't necessarily think that crowd, especially, is a Drake crowd. Because a lot of times these guys, they go for like pristine, not seen, all over the place acts, and Drake is just more available. But here's the thing, Drake by far makes the most amount of money touring. However, think about somebody like Frank Ocean. Maybe does one show a year. When he does that show, he's going to get over $5 million for the one show, right? Now, let's go back to Kendrick. Remember, I just said, I think if Kendrick does Coachella 2025, right? I think, by that time his album might be out. So his album might be out. He did Super Bowl. You got to pay him over $10 million, 10, 11, maybe $12 million, right? Just for him to do Coachella. So it's 2 weekends. He's doing 2 performances, probably an hour, hour and a half. So 3 hours of his time, 12 million, 10 to $12 million, right? Just work with me as I try to break it down to y'all. Kendrick just did a whole tour. It made 89 million, or actually it was 96. I think my numbers are off. But it was 96 for how many days? Anyway, his tour average gross was about like 2 million. Like we could pull it up right now, right? I just want to show you why some artists use the exclusivity thing. So look, Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, tour. Like I know the number I told you just sounds utterly ridiculous, but it's not. You get what I'm saying? Like Kendrick would get $10 million for it. They're like positive, okay? If we look at his own tour on average is about 1.5 million in gross. So think about this, right? For Kendrick to make $10 million, like remember this is the whole gross of the tour of the event. So Kendrick essentially has to do, so if it's 1.5, 10 divided by 1.5, let me do the math, maybe like 6.5 or 7. So let's 7 shows to get $10 million, right? So he has to do 7 shows to get $10 million, and that's just $10 million gross, but he only probably gets about like 40 to 60% out of that. So really it's more than 10 shows. So again, he probably has to do to get $10 million in what he would receive, right? Because remember, this is a tour. You got to pay all the expenses. Not 7 shows, maybe 10 shows, like respectfully. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like play him or make him look no type of weird. Let's say 9 shows, whatever, right? What he would make for 9 shows on his tour, he makes in 2 weekends or for 2 shows at Coachella. So that's a good bag. And why is he worth that much? Well, you're not going to catch Kendrick too many places. So you're going to have to pay the cost to see the boss. And Kendrick's the boss when he hasn't performed anything. So that's the way how people play exclusivity. If you wonder why Frank Ocean's so elusive, that nigga's not just strolling down every motherfucking random street. That nigga plays the exclusivity game. Yo, all right. Yo, I could, it's interesting how Drake works because Drake does more of the quantity stuff. Like Drake puts the work in. These other guys are like, yo, if we're here to get the bag, maybe we're not getting the 320, but we could do 1/10 of the show that Drake does to make, I don't know, 1/3 of what he does, if that makes sense. So exclusivity works like Kendrick has done that a couple of times. Frank Ocean 100% does that, right? It's the reason why you don't see Frank Ocean nowhere. Because when you do see Frank Ocean, the bill has been paid. So again, I only show you about, and again, I'm spitballing here. I haven't heard any solid numbers on Coachella. I'm going off of hearing that Travis Scott, and I have good authority that last time Travis Scott was supposed to headline on Coachella, he was scheduled to be paid $8 million. So I'm looking at Travis at 8 at that time. I'm looking at Kendrick at pretty much the peak of his career. At this point, he's going to do Super Bowl. If he did Super Bowl, then Coachella would have a clause to say, you do no other concerts after the Super Bowl other than Coachella. If y'all were giving Travis 8 back then, you got to give him more. I'm saying at least 10. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I'm coming up with that number, just to be very clear. If you guys are wondering, like, where are you getting these numbers from? You know what I mean? I sourced Travis number, and that's Travis number a couple years ago. Then I'm using that to extrapolate to be Kendrick's number. Okay. Cool. And we all, and by the way, I do believe whenever Kendrick drops in 2024, I think he's going to be the biggest seller in hip hop. Yes, even if Drake drops an album, I think he'll outsell Drake. I think I've said that before. I think he'll do around 600, maybe 700. I think if Drake drops, and even if he, prepares it like an album, I think we're gonna see Drake in the 500 range, and Kendrick will still beat him. Okay, at least for this next album, just because of momentum, people thirsting to hear more, and all those other things. Right? Cool. So, all right, let me get back to the conversation about Coachella. So let's keep reading, right? It was the first place I saw a hologram perform live. Oh, that's where Tupac hologram was? Oh, cool. In the first place, many Americans experienced Korean pop. Okay, pop artists went there. It served as the official beginning of summer concert season and uses various stages to coronate many acts. But over the last few years, Coachella's lost a bit of that magic. It fell in love with pop, got overran by influencers. Yeah, like, I think they had showed some shit. Coachella private jets, like the amount of private jets to go to Coachella and like helicopters, it showed that. Look. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. Look, there's like there's companies that are profiting off of it, right? And they're doing private service to Coachella. Why? The people who go to Coachella, they have a bigger bankroll. If you're someone who goes to Rolling Loud, you're going to have to be able to spend like $400 to get like a pass for the weekend. If you're going to Coachella, you're a person who's probably committing $1,000 per person at least. You get what I'm saying? It's a little bit like, it's a little steeper pockets. And because of that, in terms of steeper pockets, by the way, let's look at it right now. Coachella 2025. I don't know if you could see, there's a wait list for tickets. They've given... Let's look. Can we see anything about the passes? 2025 passes. Let's see if we can see. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So, they sell it by the weekend. So, as I said, it's $1,000 commitment to go, right? This is general admission. So, even at the lowest users being in the crowd, weekend 1, and if you want to go weekend 2, they're starting at $600 to go to both. You're going to go, that's $1,200. Now, I know some of y'all might be like, well, some people don't want to go to both weekends. They go to one. All right, cool. Got you. But if we just kind of look at the prices, we're talking about if you want to go for both weekends, and sometimes people will spend the whole week there, right? Weekend 1, they'll have a spot that's close to the valley. They have all their friends there to turn to a party. It's like almost like a wild ass shit, right? But just what you're going to have to commit for that. So general admission and shuttle, now we're at $1,300 for general admission. VIP, now we're at damn near $2,500, right? So you could already see, and that's just VIP, right? It just allows VIP areas, which, you know, still tame. There is other, okay, VIP for 2, $4,500 here. General admission here, $3,400. Like, there's a bunch of other shit that, you know, you're going to spend a pretty penny if you want to go to Coachella, right? So you got to be the person who is down to spend a couple thousand on a concert, right? Obviously, some people are going to take it to be vacation, but a lot of influencers do flock to this area. Anyway, let's get back to the article. For the last few weeks, I've been talking to music industry executives about what's going on with Coachella, but the larger music business of the festivals, some of the problems apply across the board. All festivals rise and fall, and many of the festivals are struggling right now. But some of the problems are specific to Coachella, a festival that still makes more money than all but a handful of the biggest tours. Speaking of the festival, screen time is this week. You will no longer be bombarded with the speaker. Fuck that. Cool. So Coachella has become a victim of its own success. Let's read this, and I don't want to bore you with all the reading. I want to get to the core of why Kendrick and Rihanna would turn it down, right? As soon as the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival ended in April, Paul Tolle started to work the phones to secure potential headlines for 2025. The festival has suffered through a tough stretch, shutting down during the pandemic, then failing to sell out the last 2 years. Oh, they didn't sell out. I didn't know that. Tolle, the concert promoter who started the event in 1999, wanted to book some A-list acts to ensure the malaise wouldn't continue in the third year. And he knew exactly who he wanted: Kendrick and Rihanna. Lamar grew up at the festival, performing at the main stage in 2012, then headlining in 2017. A Pulitzer Prize winner, Lamar's public war of words with Drake has made him the hottest rapper in the world. Rihanna, one of the most popular and elusive musicians around, hadn't staged a proper tour in years. Her appearance would all but ensure a sellout. but both passed. According to several people familiar with the matter, Lamar is scheduled to perform at the 2025 Super Bowl and then plans a tour of major stadiums. Now, let me stop right there. This is very interesting, and this is good knowledge to know. So it appears that Kendrick Lamar, and I'll Google that, Kendrick Lamar Stadium Tour. They're saying that Kendrick Lamar is going to be embarking possibly on a stadium tour. Now, this is very significant. We've never seen, and again, for all y'all K-Barbs, y'all could clip it because I know y'all be like, oh, even Ak said this. Like, the K-Barbs, anytime I compliment Kendrick, like, it's like they're jizzing over this. They're like, oh my God, let's go. Thank you, Ak. It's cool. I'm giving y'all boy credit tonight, so y'all could, jizz into eternity. So, so Kendrick Lamar is probably going to do something that I haven't seen. Maybe, what's the last rapper that did a stadium tour solo? We know Jay-Z did one with Beyonce on the Run tour, but we can't really count that because that's Beyonce on tour and that's his wife. Fuck that. Didn't Eminem do a stadium tour? I feel like he did. Eminem stadium tour, didn't he? The Monster? Ooh, no. Well, he had Rihanna on that one. We can't count that. Yeah. And it wasn't that many dates. That wasn't that many dates. Did he ever do a stadium tour? Am I tripping? Let me Google. Last rapper to do stadium tour. Yeah, this is bringing up Kendrick. So Kendrick possibly would be doing something that, I'm going to be honest with you, we haven't seen. Wait, am I tripping, chat? Somebody says I'm muted on YouTube. That's impossible. It doesn't work like that. If I'm muted on Twitch, I'm muted on YouTube. Eminem never did. Travis never did either. No. Travis never did. Travis did stadiums. I'm not saying have done stadiums. I said did a stadium tour. What a stadium tour looks like is Taylor Swift tour dates. Like when you look at her tour dates, it's only going to say stadium. And these are all stadium, okay? I think Bad Bunny last tour. I think his last tour might have been a stadium tour. El Último Tour del Mundo. It's the last tour of the world. I do think these might have been. Let's go down. Wait. No. Wait. I thought that was a tour, not the album. Oh, okay. Let's find the tour. No, it's the Most Wanted. Sorry. Most Wanted tour. Bad Bunny. I don't even think that was a stadium tour. I think that was an arena tour. Right? Let's see. Yep, arena. These are arenas. I think his tour before that, World's Hottest Tour, was an arena tour, I think. Let's go see. Stadium, Fenway Park Stadium. These are all stadiums. This was a stadium tour. So Bad Bunny's done a stadium tour. I kind of did criticize Drake a bit, saying, yo, Drake, why are you doing 8 dates in New York? Bro, do Yankee Stadium twice. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about this, right? Madison Square. All right, fuck all that. Let's just look at Drake. It's a Blur tour. When we look at this and we go to Madison Square, even though I know he did it multiple times. Here we go. So yeah, Madison Square. He did how many nights here? 1, 2, 3. So we got to divide 51 by 3 to see the capacity. I'm pulling up the calculator on the side. 51 divided by 3. So 17,000. So he sold out 17,000, did it 3 nights, which equals to 51. Perfect. Cool. Here's the thing. Yankee Stadium capacity. And by the way, Barclays hold less than 17. So essentially, here's the thing. All 3 nights, you could have done one fucking event at Yankee Stadium and fucking killed it. You get what I'm saying? Or let's, because obviously there's going to be a part that they mask off. So let's say 38. 38 and 38, let's just say 70. 70,000 if he does 2 nights at Yankee Stadium, at least 70, 75. And if he's going to do an arena, he has to do that 5 or 6 times. So I think a lot of people said, well, why not do less work and get more people? Because you clearly could do a stadium because you did 8 nights in New York. And if you don't believe me, they did 8 nights in New York. Here we go. Drake It's a Blur tour. When you look at it, like I'm going to count up all the days he did in New York. Look, New York City. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7, and where's I thought he came to Prudential. Oh, he came back to Prudential. I'm sorry. So he came to Prudential, which is in Jersey, actually. Where is that at? Yeah, he came here. So he did about 7 dates. Okay, cool. Anyway, the point what I'm trying to say is that I often, asked why Drake didn't do a stadium tour. I've gotten mixed results and mixed opinions. They said Drake he gets more money out of doing these arena tours, even though he's doing more dates. Okay, that's one. Number 2, I hear that, hip hop sucks in a arena setting. In arena setting, most of these guys, especially when they're just like that. Like a whole arena you look like a tiny speck when they're up in the fucking nosebleeds in an arena, in a stadium. You're gonna need more than that, right? So like even on the Underrun tour with Beyonce and Jay-Z, Beyonce's coming out with pyrotechnics. She's coming out with all type of like going through my hand, like all this like like shaking their asses, like her and 50 girls doing it. Like it's like a whole thing, you know what I mean? And this is what I would say. With all due respect, and fuck with Drake, but I think Kendrick is a great performer. And I think I went to Kendrick's show and I was like, God damn, this nigga has choreography and all this type of shit. I could see why he could possibly put on a show that would fit a stadium. And by the way, he's going to be doing a stadium for the Super Bowl. So just like how Usher kind of prepped up to get to the Super Bowl, I think Kendrick's going to create a show that he's going to give to the Super Bowl and then take that show on the road and do it in stadiums. This is going to be, if this gets done, it would be something we've never seen before, right? Now, granted, other artists who possibly could do stadiums or I would like to see do stadiums, obviously like Travis Scott. Who else? Name some great hip-hop performers. Yeah, I can see Travis doing stadiums. Travis, Kendrick. I don't know. My brain's not thinking. Anyway. Okay, cool. So, if you ask me why Kendrick turned down Coachella, if he's going on his own stadium tour, the best way to catapult it is do the Super Bowl, drop an album, announce your stadium tour. Now, again, I have to see how Kendrick makes hip hop look in a stadium. That's unheard of. They say Rihanna. Let me see. What do y'all say in the chat? I see a lot of people saying shit. My bad. I went on a rant. I didn't look at the chat for a bit. Give me a second. Shout out to everybody on the King Academics in the Academy page. Love all of y'all. Future cannot do a stadium. You out of your fucking mind. You must be on crack. Future cannot do a stadium. Future just got to the point of doing arena tours. He cannot do a stadium. Stop it. Cardi cannot do a stadium either. Now, I'm saying these guys can't. Maybe they could do a one-off that resembles a stadium, but they can't go on tour and get stadium numbers. Like, you crazy? Oh, Kanye could do a stadium. Oh yeah, I would love to see Ye in a stadium. Okay, here we go though. So if you're wondering why I think Kendrick would turn it down, because again, I'm estimating the easy $10 to $12 million he could have got from 2 weeks of performance, 2 performances, and what I'm trying to say is that financially they're going to make it attractive for him. That's even less work than he would do on his own tour. So why wouldn't he take the money? Well, he wouldn't take the money because he's coming off the Super Bowl. He's probably going to drop his album, maybe announce a tour, and probably has a stadium tour at that point. So why then give it to Coachella? Because the people, like, he's probably going to be charging good prices. Why go let people go get like an all-in-one view of your stadium tour at Coachella? So you say no to Coachella. You do Super Bowl, that's it, right? So I do think that the rumors that he's planning a major stadium tour, I think it's a possibility. Now, I wouldn't, of course, just assume it is what it is until I hear it announced. But I do, if Kendrick's announcing a major stadium tour, I think hip hop is in trouble. And I think that wouldn't, when I mean hip hop in trouble, nothing like it's bad. I think anyone who wants to compete with Kendrick should take note. And when I mean take note, he's coming for the crown, right? You don't get in talks to get a stadium tour unless you're planning to drop an album filled with hits. And I get it. Not Like Us, great song, people love it, but you're going to have to drop that album with a whole bag of hits. So clearly he ain't going to be on, because we all listen to Mr. Morale. He's like, yo, my daddy touched me, my mama's a man, like all type of shit, like, yo, my auntie's a nigga. I don't know what he was talking about. That nigga needed therapy on that particular project. Cool. I think he going to get back to bop type music where he's still going to have his message. Kendrick always got some type of message somewhere, but he's going to realize niggas want to, kind of dance. People want to have fun, and he's just not going to lecture. So if he's doing this, I think he's going to be in that realm, and I think hip-hop should realize Kendrick is making his final run to be undisputed the #1 rapper. Because let's be honest and be very clear right now. Even though I said that I believe that Kendrick would probably outsell Drake if they both drop next year, I don't believe that Kendrick is the #1 rapper. I think that's still Drake. Why? Drake's more consistent. Drake we see doing more, and Drake still numbers eclipse Kendrick even streaming wise. I think if Kendrick is trying to make a legit run of really dethroning Drake, that would happen in the next year or so. But for the people who are wondering now, I don't think at all he's dethroned Drake yet. I think Drake is still the numero uno. But this would be a great plan to try to do so. All right. So cool. Rihanna, why would she turn it down? Well, here's the thing. I think Rihanna gets in sales. So let's say they pay Rihanna $10 million. I think when Rihanna drops a new line of fucking brasiers or whatever the fuck, Fenty Beauty or whatever, Fenty Savage, Fenty X or whatever the case is, I think Rihanna is making tens of millions of dollars. I don't really think headlining a concert really moves her anymore. If it did, she would probably be trying to drop more music, and she doesn't seem to care. So I think she's billionaire status. I think that her plans are more important and actually trump the idea of even appearing on something like Coachella. So I don't think, I understand why she would even turn it down. Anyway, let's keep it going. With 6 months to go until next year's festival, Tole is scrambling to secure some type of headliner that could restore the luster. Coachella has become a victim of his own success, according to several people familiar with the booking process. Fans expect the festival to offer them an experience they can't find elsewhere. Frank Ocean, Rihanna, Kendrick, right? While Lollapalooza could get away with booking the same acts as many other festivals, Coachella cannot. Yet attracting global pop stars and unique performers has gotten harder as those stars can now make more on their own. See, I just explained that without even seeing this. A spokesperson for Golden Voice, the company that puts on the festival, did not respond for comment. Tole dropped out of college to work at Golden Voice. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right, let me scroll down a little bit more. In 2011, Coachella hosted more than 200,000 fans and grossed $23 million over 3 days. Kanye West was one of the headliners, a sign that Coachella's brought in musical repertoire. Initially focused on rock and some electronic, the festival expanded to include hip-hop, pop, Latin, Korean pop, and added stages for DJs. This year, Oasis reunion would have been a perfect set for Coachella of old. As the event stature increased, Tole began to conceive performances that fans couldn't find anywhere else. Okay, cool. All right, so by 2018, they secured Beyonce for a rare festival performance. By that time, Coachella annual sales had eclipsed $100 million. So you see why they're paying the headliner $10 million, right? Or $8 million, right? By the way, there was a whole drama with this too, because I forgot. 2018, you know what's happened, and I don't know if they're going to mention it here. So, and I didn't read the article. I'm reading this organically. What started to happen is that headliners start hearing about what last year's headliners were paid, and they wanted to either match it or sometimes even eclipse it. And I remember that was the thing with the Travis thing. I forgot what artist, but I remember there was something with Beyonce where Beyonce was demanding a certain money, but it was also that negotiation was predicated based on what they had either paid somebody else or something of the sort. Anyway, so by 2018, they're making over $100 million, and they stretched over 2 weekends. The buzz around these performances attracted influencers and young festival goers, transforming the crowd at what had been an event for slightly older diehard music fans. Party promoters decided to host events specifically for influencers, okay, to satisfy this new clientele. They created locations throughout the festivals that was ideal for Instagram. Okay, they booked a growing number of pop headliners: Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Did I tell y'all? Yo, chat, am I wrong or am I always right? Yet booking A-list acts have grown harder in the recent years. Chat, I swear, I promise, I would not lie to you. I've never seen this article before until now. I'm reading on stream. And everything I told you was just what I've known from talking to people in the game. While major music musicians headline festivals for lucrative paydays, the biggest acts in the world today can now make more on their own. Promoters and ticketing companies have figured out how to increase prices to record highs. While Coachella pays headliners $8 million to $12 million for the 2 weekends. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you Kendrick right now will get $10 to $12 million? I told you this before. Come on, man. Yo, can I get Big W for act? Because sometimes I think I tell y'all like industry shit that I hear from like managers of these niggas, and I'm like, yo, Ack is just up here lying. Come on, bro. Beyonce and Taylor Swift now gross more than $15 million a night. Well, here's the thing. They got to put on those concerts themselves, and the take home is not $15 million a night. You get what I'm saying? Even though I heard Taylor does take home 10 a night with better profits. Coachella has also committed a couple of unforced errors. In 2023, they thought they pulled off a coup, booking Frank Ocean for his first live performance in 6 years. He was supposed to perform in 2020 before it was canceled due to the pandemic, but the set started late and disappointed fans. People online complained when the live stream was canceled, and those in attendance booed when Ocean ended his set little more than after an hour. They asked for their money back. After negative reaction from the crowd and the media, Ocean canceled his performance scheduled for the second weekend. The episode damaged Coachella's reputation in the artist community, and many musicians blame organizers for mishandling a widely respected artist. Coachella bore some responsibility. Okay, cool. So they blamed him for what's the name? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Perfect. So essentially, I think this goes to show how lucrative it's become. And if Kendrick does this, I think it's going to be historic. Never been done before. And you have to understand why both artists would turn this down. Like, Rihanna at this point, like, Rihanna's getting booked to go perform. Did y'all see that performance she did overseas in, like, Dubai? Rihanna performed Dubai. No. She performed at somebody's, like, wedding. She performed at somebody's... Was it Dubai? It was somebody's wedding or something like that. Yeah, this right here.
Rihanna wows the crowd in a pre-wedding Anant Ambani and rap.
Now, put like this. The person she performed for is Anant Ambani. Google this guy, and supposedly he's one of the richest motherfuckers on earth. Net worth. His net worth is supposedly $120 billion, okay? Now, he got married. Wedding cost. And she didn't perform at the actual wedding. His wedding cost $600 million. So you get what I'm saying? So Rihanna's like, fuck Coachella, fuck this. What? Whose wedding? I'm gonna be there. Why? Who knows how much she got paid? You know what I mean? Let me see. Rihanna performance fee. Oh, they said it's speculated that she got between $5 and $9 million. Business Insider hated. But it says speculated she got between 5 and 9. Nigga, she probably got like 10 nigga with a private jet and 10 cars. Fuck out of here. Justin Bieber, who barely performed these days, nigga, he popped up to somebody else's shit. Says Justin Bieber is charging more to perform. He performed that same shit too. Nigga, that nigga had Coachella at his crib. You feel what I'm saying? That nigga paid, I heard it was 10 each. I heard Justin Bieber 10, Rihanna 10. You know, that nigga just wanted them at his wedding. You know what I mean? He was, he was getting married to a baddie, and who gives a fuck about $20 million when you got to get the pre-party lit for your group of people, right? So, it is what it is. So again, Rihanna don't give a fuck, bro. Too rich. Too goddamn rich. Okay? All right. K-Bots, you guys could exit. We're done talking about your savior. Let's get to the other shit. What else is popping in the sphere? Have y'all seen this? We're not going to do a hard pivot to the Diddy stuff, but shout out to my guy Dame Dash and his network. It's called America New. Now, he Dame Dash is somebody who, for whatever reason, I still look at him a little bit more than, when he speaks about Jay or Diddy, like, he was one of the executives / moguls back then. Like, you got to remember there was a time that Jay and Dame, this was them.
On my birthday, I better get all this too. But anyway, Jay's my best friend. I'm not ashamed to say it. And we all know this, we close, and that's one of the reasons why we so tight as a family, and why everyone in this room that's with us is gonna get money and get rich, because we believe in sharing. And also want to give a happy birthday to my son Boogie. He's my best friend too. So I say, first let's make a toast to Jay-Z and Boogie and life and friendship, and then a toast to Rockefeller.
Okay, so that was back then when they were all cool. Now it's not the same. Anyway, Dame Dash was speaking about Diddy and talking about, he had an interesting point. He said, isn't it ironic that the guy that so many people, even the bodyguards, like, for example, Gene Deal, is like, oh, yo, he used to drug the liquor that he had the women drink. He was like, isn't it ironic that years later he starts a liquor brand? How do we know these liquor brands weren't also drugged as well? Which that threw me for a loop.
If he doesn't, it just, R. Kelly and Puff and the Weinstein and Epstein. I know that my personal experience with the Weinstein, that I walked away, and I did pay in full with them, and because it ain't like I have to see somebody doing something so extreme and dark that that's what I wait. And he was saying that he didn't want to be a part anymore.
Hold on.
But and I don't know what I don't even.
He allegedly
and be wrong.
Hold on.
And I'm gonna be like, yo, this shit is gonna blow my mind. And some people knew, but I guess the general public did not. So does that mean that everybody that went to his party and that celebrated him, if that's true, does that mean they were celebrating evil? Is that a form of, like, unconscious devil worship? And what was really disturbing to me about that was that they said that
right here, I think
the pattern was they put stuff in people's drinks.
Yeah.
And then they would pass out and wake up sore.
Yo, I don't know why I don't know if he was ever friends with Diddy like that, but it's kind of odd when I see like Dame or like Gene Deal, like they act like they shocked just like us. We never heard about these creepy ass niggas, so we're hearing about it for the first time. But the niggas, like, for example, when Dame says, "I hope Jay wasn't into some shit like that," I'm like, bro, I just played a video of you saying Jay was your best friend. If I had a friend that was like a super creep, that was like a serial drugger of women, I feel like I would know. right? Like I would hear like maybe women say it over time, like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I hung out with your friend and I got drugged. Like, what? Yo, I don't remember nothing. What? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I listen to Dame, when I listen to Gene Deal, well, Gene Deal, it's interesting with Gene Deal because like it's almost like, I don't know. But with Dame seems like he's surprised with us. Like he's never heard no rumors. Like he's like, what? Puff? I never heard her. Like, and I'm like, is it possible that you could really be around during that time and never heard nothing? I don't know.
And number one, I'm like, wow, how many times have I been in an environment where someone tried to pass me a drink and I didn't take it? And now I'm like, who was trying to line me up? And I think, pause, that it's justified and warranted to reflect because I was around these people and I didn't know they played those games. And
why is everybody saying accuracy with Lil Boom? So, all right, again, and I don't want to, slander him or just whatever, but the whole Boom thing, I think it would be applicable for you to say you didn't see it with him if there were current or up-to-date things of him doing what was captured on video in that Walmart or whatever store it was. That stuff was like a few years old, and I don't know, maybe he was doing it a bunch. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'd probably have to look in the mirror to myself. I'm like, wait, was I hanging with this guy? Like for example, like I've been around him in certain situations, or I've went to Miami and he's staying in the hotel room right next to me with his girl. And yeah, if he was like, yo, I'm going to the store, I'm about to go pick up some boxers, and he was just in a tilapia aisle just like touching kids and I never knew, I'd be like, damn, how did I not know that? Like, how the fuck? You get what I'm saying? So, I'm not trying to say, oh, no, I know for a fact it was some shit of the past, but none of that was occurring, I hope. I can't swear for nobody no more. None of that was hopefully occurring while I was around him, because I would look at myself to be like, how did I not see the signs? Like, you get what I'm saying? I guess that's the point. I'm not blaming Dame at all. I guess I'm just saying, like, bro, if you feel you know somebody or you've been around them, you start to see some signs of maybe some weird shit if they're doing it currently.
It's another level of gangster. So again, I ain't got no problem with people being gay, but if you're pretending you're gay and you're a gangster, that's gay gangster. And you could get robbed of your money, but you also could get robbed of your manhood. And that's a whole nother level of disrespect. And, I'm thinking, I'm like, so I'm remembering when I was on Drink Champs. And then again, I have to think this, so Nori, don't think I'm beefing with you, but I just have to reflect. And I was on Drink Champs, and Nori was so adamant about me drinking Ciroc.
No, I can't do that no more.
That was yours, man.
It's over, because...
No.
Not the interview. Come on, Dame.
How about this? We'll finish it with a shot of some...
Can you show Elliot Wilson for me? Well, let's take a shot of vodka.
If we done?
Let's take a shot of vodka, Dame.
Are we done, though?
But vodka for...
Well, I mean, I know it's needed, but... I'll do another one. You want to do another one?
You got to do a shot of vodka. Come on,
At
please.
the end, we're not done.
I fucked with you the whole night. You got to do one.
I said when we finish, we're not done.
Yo, Tito, help me. Come on.
He's clear.
Yo, chat, you know what I realized, bro? And this is why I believe that Diddy is going to have to die for the sins of hip-hop. When I mean die, I don't mean literally die, but figuratively go down. Pause, no Diddy. For the sins of hip-hop. Because I do think when a Me Too movement wave starts, some things that are seemingly innocuous and just seem to be natural, people start looking at weird. For example, now we hear about drugging people. There's a podcast called Drink Champs. Now, and by the way, I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to even fix my mouth to make it seem like they're on some weird shit. But now people start looking at those clips a little bit different. Why'd you want this guy to drink that much? Why'd you want this girl to blah, 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 blah? And that's kind of what happens until that wave of, people with pitchforks end. So do I personally think that, anything ever was funny with Drink Champs? Fuck no. Hell nah. That's a great idea for a great show. But when you're in the witch hunt era and the witch hunt situation, do people try to make some shit? Yes. So you see how people even get scared away from doing certain stuff. Right?
With you. I'm in with you. Can you pour me a shot too, Dan?
But why you gotta put the ice in the shot?
Because you gotta be sophisticated.
All right, you're gonna have ice cubes. I don't know how you're gonna have to do a shot with ice cubes.
Yes, you gotta do a fucking shot with ice cubes.
Big shout out to
this
Puff,
is good
man.
shit. Oh, no, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry. All right, and you gonna take a shot? You gonna take a shot, Ciroc?
Go ahead, pour it.
Oh, you want me to pour you? He's a gangster. When a nigga tell you he want him to pour you a shot, that's some gangster.
I just poured yours, right?
All right, well, we even. Look. You gonna take mine
I'll put like this. This was just looked at, and I think I watched this episode. It was just looked at as like some fun shit. With Dame bringing it up in this context, you're like,
Oh, look at that. I'm in. Let's do it. Eye to eye. I told you.
What do you mean? Why do you think it's not?
I don't know why I keep doing this show. It's not proper. I don't know. I went to Runyon Canyon today, and I was like, why did I do this? Like, what?
Why is he looking at the shot like that?
What did I accomplish?
Can I take the ice cubes out?
That's not gangster.
I never took a shot with ice cubes.
But you're in my world now. That's not gangster. You got to do the whole thing.
Because what's crazy to me is if his hustle is putting stuff in people's drink, he made a liquor. I mean, that's the illest shit in the world. That everybody was partying.
Yo, chat. I keep telling y'all, whether we talking about 120 people getting that Diddy or these new civil suits or people saying there's a tape of him fucking some young male, celebrity. Bro, here's the reality of like everything with that, man. Diddy has made it to a point where we can't defend him. So no matter what we hear, and that's what I've said, no matter what we hear, we gotta be like, you never know. And you can't even get someone to say, nah, I ain't believing that. Show me the proof. Like we're past that point with Diddy. We're at the point of saying, you never know. And this is why, like, what Dame is saying now, like, I think if we heard this in a vacuum, be like, yo, bro, get the fuck. So you say they're putting GHB, apparently that's the date, R-word drug. They're putting GHB in a nationally distributed liquor? What? But then, once they bring Diddy's name in, you're like, I don't know about this shit.
He made a liquor. I mean, that's the illest shit in the world. That everybody was partying and you don't know what was in that drink. And if he was, undercover gay, because I didn't know it.
Wait, how do you not know that? But you heard the rumors, right?
And obviously, if he was knocking men out and they were waking up violated, he's making somebody gay that doesn't want to be gay. So I'm like, what was in them drinks? And then I'm starting to think like, damn, when did hip hop start to lose its masculinity? When did dudes, and again, no disrespect to nobody, but like tough niggas started wearing dresses and pocketbooks, like.
Pause.
Maybe that could be the reason, and I'm just thinking it through. Like maybe that could be the reason why hip hop took a turn for the feminine, because that shit, if homie was really putting shit in people's drinks and he's making the liquor, and again, I don't know, and I'm not even saying it to be funny, but they saying, homie was putting shit in motherfuckers' baby oil. So how could you trust that person to serve you drinks at such a big scale? So I'm remembering Nori so adamant about me taking a shot of Ciroc, and I'm like, nah. And I brought my own. And now y'all can understand why I always want to make my own. So I brought my own liquor.
See, that's also like this. I don't know if it's dirty macking or, again, Diddy has put us in a position, no Diddy, where we cannot ever say, man, come on, that don't make no sense. Because there's so much smoke, we assume is fire. We've seen enough to know that he's a little bit scummy. And you can't rule nothing out to be like, bro, I'm not believing it. You got to be like,
You know what I'm saying? I was taking shots of my own.
Here's with that. I think Dame, I can't tell if Dame is just like speaking because that's what he truly thinks, or this is a way to promote his own shit too. Like, we all know that Dame has, Dame is an independent guy. He likes to promote his own stuff. This looks like a way to promote, like, Dame could just kind of throw Ciroc under the bus, at least how Diddy was promoting their brand, which is Diageo's brand, and he could just kind of promote his own shit. I don't know.
And then what happened, I made him take shots of Ciroc, and then he ended up getting too drunk, talking about take your shirt off and all this type shit. It's on tape. So it ain't, like, you just naturally start to think of things. And then I was thinking, there was this one time that when my daughter was 16, Jay had a show, and my daughter wanted to go. So I'm like, yo, I'm not going to deprive my daughter. So, I hollered at Jay, sent the kite, and told him I wanted to go to his show with my daughter, and they accommodated me to the fullest. People were really surprised to see me there, took pictures with everybody. And again, Emery's my brother, so I would hate to think that he was fucking around like that, pause. But he kept passing me somebody. That was the first time I had tasted that Douce, and I got ridiculously drunk.
Yo, Dame doing the Ruby Rose right now. Travis, I might have been let's not talk about that. Yeah, like, yo, Dame, like, kind of lightweight saying, that nigga might have drugged me with the Douce. Now that's going at Jay.
Like that, pause. But he kept passing me somebody. That was the first time I had tasted that Douce, and I got ridiculously drunk to the extent, and my daughter and I were talking about this the other day, that I was like, yo, I don't get this drunk. Why am I so drunk? And I ended up, pause, wrestling with Kevin Hart. Pause, nigga got me in a chicken wing. And I remember Vaughn taping that shit. And I'm like, yo, why you taping, Vaughn? So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, because homie makes drinks too. And again, just if this is true, these are the things that I'm like just reflecting on. And if I wouldn't have played everything completely by the book, complete honor, then I could have been compromised. And what would have happened if I ever woke up feeling some kind of way? Compromised. What would I have done? And then I start thinking, I'm like, yo, homie's really a gangster, because that whole time, like after the first Cassie case came out, and he was just out smoking a joint, dancing, like literally to the day he went to jail, he was out in the park. Like, you would have never thought a person had all those problems. Like, I couldn't have handled that. So what it led me to believe is like, yo, things could be going a whole nother way over there, and you'll never know.
All right. You guys could go watch that. That's kind of interesting. Do I think that Diddy was putting drugs in a Ciroc. Absolutely not. I think that sounds asinine. Okay, Ciroc was, synthesized, distilled, and distributed through Diageo. They're not gonna let Diddy come in with his little creep bag and or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. Just pour something in or come in with a little, I don't know, like vase of fucking God knows what to pour in the supply of Ciroc. Like, no. Like, that sounds crazy. Or even a DeLeon. So I don't believe that at all. But again, even though I feel that way just on a logical perspective, Diddy has put us all in a position, no Diddy, where we cannot vouch for that nigga at all. So if they, like right now, if an alien came out of the sky and said that Diddy had them in a freak off, I'd be like, oh, I can see it. I can see it. Maybe you want to see how the alien tentacle dick works. I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, right now, you can't give Diddy the benefit of the doubt. So, it is what it is. But I would think that a company, and by the way, I wouldn't be shocked if Diageo doesn't send a cease and desist over this. Yo, we own Ciroc now, Playboy. Don't try to get the people to believe that this is the liquor that contains a element or a hint or a mixture of the date R word drugs. So we'll see. We will see, people. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. I did want to did y'all see this, bro? Crazy shit. So shout out to Young Miami. I have no problems with her. I feel a bit of pity for her. However, we do have to acknowledge that, she was having her way out here talking about go poppy. She was telling other women, if I wanted, Diddy could have you on your knees. You're an eater. Like, she was speaking.
Literally,
she was in denial. She was a side chick. And essentially what happened recently is a fan, Young Miami, baby oil. A fan pulled up on Young Miami and asked her if she could sign the bottle of baby oil that they had.
Miami, would you sign this?
No. Oh, where you playing?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead, bro. I love you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. That's crazy. No. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Miami, would you sign this?
No. Oh, where you playing?
Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This fan is trolling. I think Young Miami did the right thing. But I'm going to be honest with you. I really think Young Miami is in a very interesting place. I believe Young Miami, and this is only my thoughts. I do not have any sources. If I did, I would tell y'all. I believe Young Miami has been subpoenaed to a grand jury. I think she's been subpoenaed, or at least requested a interview by HSI. I think they want to know. And I do think that there is and by the way, again, let me not even mention this dude's name because this gay dude really wants to like go back and forth. And I've just learned my lesson. Like, I look stupid arguing with a fucking gay dude. Like, I mean, sometimes you look stupid arguing with a woman too, but a gay dude is like, nigga, I'd rather argue with my dog, with all due respect. And that's no type of homophobia. It's just, come on. Like, anyway, the point is this. When it comes to Young Miami really is in a world of confusion, but also probably self-inflicted drama. Okay? Young Miami could be argued that I don't think Young Miami, of anybody, right? Of anybody when it comes to Diddy, Young Miami seems to be the person who can't play victim. We've seen them on interviews talking. We've seen her demeanor towards him. We've seen how she talks about their relationship. It doesn't appear that she, and I'm not, obviously we know that he's done this, but it don't appear that she was one of the women that he put hands on. It also didn't appear that that was one of the relationships that it felt like Diddy was coercing. Now, granted, keep in mind, the reason why it started with sex trafficking is because no, he did not kidnap anyone, but if you are transporting people for the purpose of a commercial sex act, with them either being kidnapped or them being in fear or them feeling like you control their finances, so they have to do these things. So by threat or coercion, that's still sex trafficking. I think none of these things Young Miami fit for. Now, I'll tell you why it's important. Because if we're to believe some of the people who, and some of the bright and brilliant people who spoke about this whole case, for example, Bradford Cohen, he believed that that tape of Cassie getting her ass beat by Diddy came out for a reason. What would that reason be? That reason would be to further let the public know that whatever you have heard about Cassie and Diddy, she wasn't a willing participant. And also, if your question was, well, why didn't she just leave? It clearly showed what happened if she attempted to leave. So it's a brilliant thing on behalf of Cassie to let everybody know that they weren't a part of some of the nefarious things Diddy's accused of. That's the case with her. If we go to Gina Hill, she did a whole interview breaking down how he allegedly forced her to get rid of babies. He was constantly not loyal to her. It, again, goes into show that she appears that she could be a victim. Now, will she eventually cross over and just officially become a victim and sue him? We don't know if that's happened yet, because there's a couple Jane Does, and we don't know if she will. What we can reasonably say is that Young Miami, and by the way, we get to hear from the feds, the freak-offs were being taken place up until this year. They said it stopped in July of this year. So if this woman was through the 2019s, 2020s, what we have to say, well, that's Gina, but we know Young Miami was like after 2021, just about. What we have to say, or we should conclude about Young Miami, is that if she's ever culpable in this, it's not because she's a victim. It would be because she's somebody who's a culprit. She's the one who told another woman, she told the other woman, if I wanted you to eat my pussy, Diddy would have had you on your knees, ho. You a eater. That don't sound like a victim. That sounds like someone who was basking in the idea that you had some power. Power that you've gotten illicitly through committing a crime. So, going back, when I see a video about Young Miami, somebody rolling up and asking her to sign baby oil, do I feel bad for Young Miami? No. The same thing that make you laugh sometimes makes you cry. Young Miami was running around gallivanting, acting like she was above all these other women because everybody was talking to scammers and, low-level rappers, while she was fucking on a billionaire who allegedly was going to buy her a house, Maybachs, and so forth. Now, I'm not telling her to stand with every fuckery that Diddy did. And also, she's trying to act like she never knew about none of this stuff, despite the tweet saying I could have Diddy force you to do some shit. But I do think she has to deal with some of this bullshit. Yeah, you're not going to just move on to another guy. And we're going to forget that you were with Diddy. Doesn't make any sense. So, her having to sign a bottle of baby oil, shit. The only thing I would say to the nigga who pulled up with that, boy, you should have showed up with a urinal. That's her thing. I don't know if it's the baby oil her thing. Her thing is a urinal. Okay? Maybe show up with a puppy pad or something. You know? Maybe show up with a bidet. Maybe she would sign that. But again, I wish all the best for her. But what Young Miami has to realize is that you ran around for years talking shit and enjoying the fruits of that man's labor. Having sex with a new guy or claiming another guy as your boyfriend doesn't erase the fact that people are saying that you pressured them into abortion. You were present during a lot of these things. Who know if you're complicit? And because of that, you have to take accountability. So I don't feel bad for her with this baby oil thing. She has an opportunity. I know she broke up with Diddy, but stay your ass inside. When Diddy went outside, he realized people control him. So you got to pick one. Get what I'm saying?
Would you sign this?
No. Oh, bro, you playing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead, bro. I love you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. That's crazy. No. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Amy, would you sign this?
Yeah. Now, is that a real? Sometimes they'll have
Amy,
these edited videos.
Would you sign this? No. Amy, would you sign this?
Hold on. Let me just search this channel. Never know what you gonna see. Is this a YouTube channel? What is this?
Amy, would you sign this?
No. Oh, bro, you playing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead, bro. I love you. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. That's crazy. No. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I don't know if that's a page. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping it's not voiceover, but whatever. Okay, yo, Young Miami, I feel bad for you, and you know, but I can't though. I hope you were just talking shit and you're not caught up in any of this mess. But again, the same shit that makes you laugh sometimes makes you cry, right? Okay. Yo, I got to draw y'all attention to this, man. Yo, chat, what is going on with the whole transformation for all these women? We got, you know, and this is a friend of mine, Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner went from bragging about the body count, talking about she fucked all your favorite rappers. She wrote a goddamn book on it. By the way, I like Brittany Renner. I think she's well spoken. I think she'd be an amazing podcaster. I would consider her as a friend. However, you know, I got to speak objectively about her actions. She used to embrace the whole activity, the whole life, all of this feminist speak shit. And what happens is that over the years, once you hit 30, and I do think she's about 30, she has a child with a basketball player. I believe his name is PJ Washington, right? Isn't it PJ Washington? Unless I'm tripping. She had a baby with him. He left. He went on and got with another girl that he supposedly is having a child with, and he's trying to make her an honest woman. After a certain while, women like Brittany Renner start to get it. There is a cost. There's a cost-benefit ratio to this whole behavior lifestyle that is being promoted by the City Girls, Sexy Red, and a bunch of others. When you promote and you purport yourself to be a whore, and even though you might be a really attractive woman, usually the men that you want, and yes, like she could get a guy to wife her up in a heartbeat, but not the guy she wants. Because if you watch an interview I did with Brittany Renner requires a certain type of guy. You need to be a guy who's making $1 million a year or so. She wants a successful guy. Well, a successful guy don't want to ran through cum bucket. Not saying that's what Brittany Renner is, but they don't. They have some standards for what they'll tolerate, usually in the promiscuity level of a woman. Now, what happens since then? Every time a hoe realizes that they are now trapped and stuck in a rock between a hard place, they all look towards God, Jesus, Allah, or whatever you believe in, to try to cure them of their whoreness. Okay? I'm not a whore anymore. I'm covered up. Well, you were busting it wide open and naked at all these other niggas' houses. Now you want to cover up? That'd be the frustrating part. Hey, I'm not in that life anymore. I'm now into some spiritual healing. Well, you could get your spiritual healing, but what about all them 55 niggas that done fucking long dicked you on some ashy leather couch? Like, what type of healing does the pussy get? Like, what's going on? So this is a very common tactic. If you find a woman who has fucked 89 people on OnlyFans and she's ready to finally have a boyfriend, she now gets committed to the Lord. And they use the Lord as a buffer to be like, well, the Lord has changed me in all of the desires that I used to have. I used to yearn and thirst. That's what they would be saying, for semen. Except now they're ready to be a wife. And if you believe it, God bless you. So we've seen, Brittany Renner turn to God. Because, obviously, all these girls, they're coping when they say that they love being single. Fuck a nigga, I don't need a man, this and third. Most of these girls, they grew up playing with Barbies. And when Barbie had a Ken, Barbie wasn't just busting pussy down all over town. And the cope that they try to give is that their ability to sport fuck or to just have promiscuous relationships is what's going to keep them happy long term. It only takes until significant moments in their life when they realize, oh shit, didn't you not realize that you're 30 now? Don't you realize that you're the old chick in the club? That's the time that they be like, you know what? Let me go settle down. And they usually come with the same tricks. Now, the first trick I told you about is they're giving their life to Christ. But this wasn't about Brittany Renner. I like Brittany Renner, and we'll do some content soon enough. But this was actually about Krishan Rock. Unfortunately for the modern young woman who grows up on the internet, whose usually behavior is such of that as a uncouth swine, someone acting like an animal with rabies, with mad cow disease that needs to be put down. I've looked at the behavior of Krishan Rock multiple times, and I said, if she was an animal acting like this, she would be recommended to be euthanized. Like she wasn't a very nice person. Someone who felt that rather than deal with her problems through words and discourse, she would use her fists and bottles of Hennessy and any type of weapon she could see. She used to act a fool. Why? Because women are infatuated not only with other baby mamas, but they're infatuated with the bad behavior of other women. Don't know why that's such a thing these days, but usually men aren't even amused by women fighting. Why? Because they're weaker beings who that if you were ever in that fight, the fight wouldn't be a fight. So why would you want to watch two females fight? However, there's a plethora of women who like to just watch other females fight. They fight over any little thing, over men, dick. They fight over, oh shit, you hate, like everything. And that's something that's never really been a thing for me that really like piqued my interest. However, we have to talk about the story of Krishan Rock. So Krishan Rock, and again, unfortunately, this is a very telltale sign about bad home training. I hate to really bring her parents into this, but if jail is the thing that gets your kid on the right path, you failed at parenting. Let me say that once again. This doesn't only apply to Krishan Rock. It applies to every kid that grows up that still thinks the lack of home training cannot. The lack of home training has encouraged them to act out in society. I pity when I see Tay-K. We're going to get to Tay-K as well. When I see Tay-K looking humble, there ain't no more race. He looks humble and a nice young man growing up, except he's growing up in a penal system. you get to realize his parents done failed him. When the government got to put somebody in jail and treat them like a caged animal, Pluto gets more outside time than them. Treat them like exactly how they act, like an animal. If that's what takes these people to mature, the parent failed. You failed your child to let them know that to not let them know there's real consequences to their bad behavior. To let them know or not let them know that when they inflict violence and they are just acting like swines, there is a place that people put animals. There is a place that got your bad behavior. We've never seen them say we got to get rid of jails. There's not enough people are going to jails. We only hear them building jails. So there's always a place that handles the people who don't listen to their mama, don't listen to their daddy, their grandpa, their grandma. They don't listen to nobody. But I guarantee when them cuffs get slapped on them, maybe they'll listen for a first time because they think that they rich and they get right back out. But let them go sit down for 4 or 5 months. That attitude changes real quick. Now, when Krishan Rock came onto the scene, if you ever heard about the story of Krishan Rock was a promising girl. Supposedly, she was either a cheerleader. She looked normal. Still a little bit ratchet, just even by the pose. But still, people commented that she looked beautiful and pristine. This is before the face tattoos, the neck tattoos, the tattoos over her vagina saying Jonathan's pussy, like 8 other tattoos over here. She has a portrait. It's like the Mount Rushmore, except it's of Blueface. Yes, before all that bullshit, this is how she looked like. But money and fame quickly changed it. And by the way, I'm not going to blame the people who are either in the shade room or who indulge in this bullshit, but because I'm going to blame the parents first of all. But you know what led Krishan Rock to the point where she got locked up? Is the enabling by other women that enabled the toxic behavior by saying, oh, I understand why you're fighting in public and you're breaking into your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend's house. I get it, because he a dog-ass nigga. That justifies you hitting him in the head with a bottle. That justifies you fighting a woman in the street. That justifies the bad behavior that I call swine behavior from the get-go. Y'all allowed her tooth to get missing, and rather than suggest that she go to a dentist appointment, y'all suggest she get scrapping. I watched a couple of these ratchet whores salute what was going on Zeus by saying, none of these bitches want to fight Krishan. Krishan's a beast. They were talking about her like she was a wrestler. Like she was Pereira. What's the guy named from UFC who just knocked out some other nigga? They were talking about him like it was Adesanya. They was talking about him like it was motherfucking GGG or motherfucking Tank Davis. That's how they talked about this woman. They rewarded every time she whipped ass. They rewarded every time she put hands on people. They talked about her toxic love with a nigga who just was known for being a famous Crip as, oh no, that's what it means to love, until it landed her in jail. We seen the mugshot. Krishan Rock, mugshot. Life do hit you hard when you go from beating people to fuck up, and this is you at some point. She went from smiling the first couple times, missing a tooth, because she's like, I'll be out in the morning. I got bail money. Look at this other one. I got bail money. But over time, we started to see that smile started to fade. And by the way, what I'm saying too, don't only apply to men. I guarantee that boy Jonathan comes out with a different tune, because he was also thinking that he was undefeatable. Who want to catch a fade? Everybody. I beat everybody up. Wait till he's done about like a year and a half up in that prison. It don't take too long for some of these people who are just bad actors. And this is the thing we got to call out among our youth. If you're not about to go get locked up like Straight Drop, no matter what I want to say about this guy, because I know he killed Dolph, Straight Drop post IG story. Not one of these motherfucker have, hold on. He posted some. Not one of these motherfuckers was on this type of timing. These niggas taking criminal responsibility. I'm taking street responsibility. Regardless, I'm forever the biggest. They could throw away the keys before I ever eat the cheese. Hey, don't like the fact that he killed Dolph, but I gotta respect the fact that he know he ain't never getting out, and he's okay with it because he made his decision to be a block legend, a street nigga, and this is what comes with it on the other side. But the rest of these other people, they're not like that. From Blueface, and respectfully, yeah, he might be a squabbler, this and third, but they're not used to consequences, and consequences, jail. Okay? So why did I say all that? Because Krishan Rock has came out of jail, if you guys don't know. Remember she has a child with Blueface. The kid they were playing rock, paper, scissors, shoot on who was going to go watch the kid. Even the mama, who's supposed to be the grandma, she want to go talk gossip on some other show. She got a podcast. Everybody's worried about their pockets. Nobody cared about the kid. Kid came out looking like Charles Barkley. We don't know what's going on. Okay? She was smoking weed, drinking liquor while pregnant. Nobody cared about the kid, but you know what everybody knew? Eventually, this bullshit had to stop. That kid is here for 18 years and that you got to take care of him. And obviously, hopefully for much longer. No disrespect to the kid, but let's keep in mind these parents' clear negligence. Now, as I said, for some of these bad actors, and I know, sometimes like you hate to see it, but when you see one of these uncouth swines acting up, the best thing that could happen to them to prevent them from heading to the mortuary or heading to a shallow grave or headed to getting cremated is a good, stern prison sentence. Not even a prison sentence, a jail sentence. After being incarcerated for less than 3 months, Krishan Rock got out. You think she ready to squabble people? Let's see how she got out. Shorty's now a born-again Christian. She says she's now seen God. She said no more ratchet stuff. She says she's quoting Bible scriptures. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 18. She said her new reality show is going to be called God's Plan. No more beating bitches up. Do you see what's going on, chat? What they say prison don't work, but it clearly worked for Krishan Rock. I know. It clearly worked. She was on a path to death. She got locked up for three months. She's reading the Bible now. Chat, they say incarceration don't work. But God damn it, when mama didn't teach you right, daddy didn't teach you right, I guarantee the warden gonna teach you right. 3 months, changed person. And by the way, I am glad she has changed. Now, look at this. I went to her story today. She's saying, look, thank you, Jesus. Look, thank you, Jesus. Before she was saying, thank you, Lemuel Plumber, for allowing me to beat bitches up with my fists and not cast charges. That's what she was saying. You know what she's saying now? Thank you, God. Hallelujah. Amen. I don't know what they did to her in Oklahoma County Jail, or was it Arizona, was it Scottsdale, but they done cured a demon. She was a demon. And she has been delivered, cured. She was on a path to destruction, and I'm here to support her now. I'm here to bask in her redemption. I'm not here to, I know it might seem like I'm shaming her, but I just want to send a message because I do think a lot of women were being misled by her. And as much as we celebrate the crash out, let's celebrate the redemption. Lucky for her, she gets to have the redemption story with her kid in the free world. Unfortunately for some, they didn't get that. Thank you, Jesus, is how she captions that. Sunday service. She's putting up butterflies, not bitches' faces that she just crunched up. Singing a new tune.
Big baby.
a new tune. Look, hallelujah. A demon has been cured. Prayer is everything. Thank you, Jesus. Her bad behavior was being rewarded with some of the earthly things that only encourage destruction and a greater fall for man. Every bitch she beat up on Zeus, she got offered more millions. Every time she cussed somebody out and spoke ill of them, spoke evil into this universe, when she went live, she seen more people. But it only took about 3 months of jail. The demon has left. And now she's a child of God. And I do want to celebrate her plight, okay? With all due respect, she went from posting her own sex tape. Remember when she posted that sex tape with the green discharge just oozing out of the pussy? And we said, oh my God, is that chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis? Is that motherfucking HPV? What the fuck is, how the hell? Oh my God, remember that? Look at the caption, people. Y'all have to see it. We're going to, listen, I'm here to make sure people realize there's no future in doing what she was doing. She realized where she was at. She tricked her own self out of her position. They were saying that the young women are looking up to her, and then she started looking stupid. Embracing a new life and walking in purity is a beautiful journey, one that reflects the transformative power of God's love and grace. As you continue to shine and shine brightly in your purity, remember that it's a reflection of God's work within you, drawing you closer to him. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if she typed it on this caption. I don't think she's that smart, but still. Maybe God bless her with a little bit like double the IQ. Anyway, and to the life he has envisioned for you, keep your heart and eyes fixed on Jesus, the source of your purity and strength, and let his light, she capitalized his, like, come on, shine through you to illuminate the path for others. God's plan, amen. You know, I've seen many a men go from saying that they are atheist, they don't believe in God, they don't believe in a supreme being that is forgiven until it's time for them to be forgiven. And I say that to not only include her. Do y'all see YSL Woody every Sunday videoing himself in church? I want that message to be sent out. Because a lot of this evil, baseless, oh, I'm just using my pussy for a bag, let's beat these bitches up. Shit not good for the soul. Look where all these people end up. Even a guy who's my idol myself, Vibes Cartel, he was one of the people who used to say, he don't really believe in religion and believe in stuff like that, even though, he's always touted that he believes in spirituality. After getting let out of jail after 13 years, when you were charged or you're convicted of murder and they got overturned, even he himself say, God is the greatest. It's very interesting. Everybody calls upon God. Sometimes just at the wrong time. Now, I'll pivot with this. And by the way, Krishan Rock, if you do see this, I'm not trying to diss you, baby girl. I think you're on a nice path. I want to support you. I want to support you. I want to support you. Okay? I saw you get out. I see you writing these captions. Glory be to God. Thank you, Jesus. You're finally thankful, and I appreciate you for that, because you still have that platform where women are looking up to you. And I will caution you this. Because you're not basking in the devil's playground anymore, it seems, what you're going to realize is that your platform is going to fade. I want to tell you that. These women want to see destruction, evilness, you fighting, you arguing with your baby daddy, you hitting him over the head, you smoking weed, drinking liquor, neglecting your child, because that's what they do. That's what their reality is. So when you start going on a higher vibration, you're still, I could see she still get 1 million likes, but eventually that shit is going to fade. You keep being positive for a year, it's going to go to 800,000, 700. For a couple of years, if you stay on that path, they're going to leave. I hope you continue your journey, because I think she realized something important. All them followers, everything that, I don't know if she was doing this organically or maybe for the clout. When she was locked up and she realized her newborn baby was not with her, none of that shit matters. So congrats to her. And I think she's a true example that the justice system, even though it's broken at times, and incarceration, unfortunately, works. There's no, you know how many times Blueface tried to put his hands on this chick, trying to beat her ass, hoping she was going to, and I'm not saying that's good, but he tried to get her in line that she would learn. Only thing would make her learn is when she did them 90 days in county. She came out a new woman. Congrats. Okay. Speaking of which, this made me incredibly sad, y'all. TK, another individual that, again, I'm going back to the parents. You got your 16-year-old running around with a gun, shooting people, killing people, rapping about it. I don't know how y'all mama give it up. My mama, hey, listen, I'm from Jamaica, so we don't do, go to your room, Johnny. My mom hit like a man. Because when she left my dad and we went with her, she got 3 boys. She hit like a man. My mom would slap our faces off. My mom is like, for real. My mom on some shit. My mom had 3 boys. But it ain't matter even if we was even at the age of 18. My mother know how to discipline men. And it was never a situation that we could just feel like we had free reign. And everything was held accountable in terms of our actions. So I'm going to keep going back to the parents. Where are these parents at? I know we in baby mama culture. But where are these parents at? You had your son running around with a gun, killing niggas, multiple niggas, rapping about it, gloating over it, cutting off his ankle monitor, going on, talking about you doing a race. Where's the parents at? I look at TK and whoever his parents is, and I'm not trying to incite anything, but they failed. They failed this young man. My man already got a life sentence and he's still showing up to court for other charges and other situations. He's just being dragged back and forth like a caged animal, and it's sad. Where are the parents at? Whether you want to believe it, and somebody said in the comments, TK was the first crash out. If you ask me, I think he was really influenced a lot by what he saw in terms of drill music, but you can never blame the music. Don't ever let the musician raise your kid. You gave your kid life. You raised your kid. I don't care that he could have listened to Chief Keef, Fredo Santana, Lil Durk, Lil J. He could have listened to motherfucking FBG Duck all day. He should have been staying his ass in his fucking room, not running around with a gun thinking that you could respawn or you could take life when you don't even know how to give it. So when I look at this, it's sad because I see a kid. Well, he's a grown-ass man now, but his parents failed him. And unfortunately for him, he had to become a man in the penitentiary system. And I still watch him go back and forth to court. I read some of the letters he wrote. They're sad. They're depressing. I don't want to take the blame off of him because he does deserve it. And anybody who's old enough to be toting guns, and if you could pull the trigger to take a life, and you meant to take a life, well, you're old enough to pay the price. And we all know. Remember my favorite states, chat? Florida, Texas. I like them states that when you do some fuck shit, you gonna be in jail for life. We ain't got, like, these other weak ass states, they be like, oh, well, you were young. Nah. Fuck that. Because that person you killed, that you say that you rapping about, you smoking on, he can't come back. So why the fuck you deserve to be out here doing all this bullshit? But I do pity TK. And when I see him, I see lost potential. I seen a life lost, and I seen someone who probably needed someone, family or otherwise, to put him on a different path that he didn't end here. He showed up to court recently, and the judge inquired about what they felt was an injury to his neck. And even told him, hey, do you want to speak to a deputy about your injury? And, unfortunately, TK at this point is a product of the penitentiary system. And he knows how to give it up. And shit. Some of y'all some of y'all like the consolation prizes. Well, at least he's always a real nigga. Right? He's a real nigga. He didn't say anything. Who knows what happened? Maybe he got jumped in jail. Who knows? He kept it real. Here's a clip.
All right, thank you. What happened to your neck?
Oh, incident.
Do you guys need that
It's
address?
like an issue, y'all.
Do y'all need that address with the deputy or anything?
No, ma'am. It's years old.
All right. All right, thank you.
Thank
what
you,
happened
Jack.
to your neck?
Oh, incident.
Do you guys need that
It's
address?
like an issue, y'all.
Do y'all need that address with the deputy or anything?
No, ma'am. It's years old.
All right. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't help but feel bad for him. But then I can't. Every time I feel bad for him, I look at the person over this.
Right.
I look at this person here. At this age, my mom was choke slamming me, slapping the skin off. Well, my mom operated by Jamaican rules. I remember we came over to America, and my mama was I was hearing that they can't beat kids over here. And one day I forgot what I did. I think I was mad at my mama. And I ain't know, you see in Jamaica, you call the cops, where we live at, we used to have a saying, the cops come 3 hours later. Real talk. They come for bodies and statements. If you be like, there's a shootout, come. They be like, all right, start the 3 hour clock. They don't come here to confront criminals. They come for bodies and statements, right? So I remember I come to America, and I'm like, oh, shit. Wait, you call 911, they get here in minutes? What the fuck? I can't remember what happened. And it was just some argument, but I was definitely being bratty. I'm a child. And I'm talking back to my mom, and I'm like, we're not in Jamaica no more. And I remember my mom slapped earth, wind, and fire out of me. And for whatever reason, I think I tried to call the cops. I was like, I'm calling the cops to my mama. Oh, hell no. Mama, my face feel like it's like lava right now. I feel like feels like termites been chewing on my face. One time I even packed my bags. I'm running away. Yeah, y'all could call it abuse. My mama never abused me, nigga. Okay? You wouldn't have a multimillionaire sitting in front of you if my mama wasn't a strong woman who knew how to handle boys. Because when now I reflect on everything that she disciplined me for, she was motherfucking right. I was really out of turn. But as a kid, you don't know better. So I loved all of that. Now in hindsight, I'm like, thank you, mama, for all the beatings you gave me. I respect it. Some of y'all won't respect that because let me tell you this: when I give birth to my kid, I might have to bring them to Jamaica to really get them in line. Like we gotta get a disciplined place going on first. Like we can't just have. I ain't just shouting at you. Fuck all that. We getting to it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. When my mom had us in line, when we saw other people straying outside of the confines of their house or they're hanging on this street, this is where all the cool guys were hanging, my mama had us in line. Yo, she was a teacher who was going back to school. She was like, no, y'all gonna come home, do y'all homework, all that other shit, that's not gonna be our life. Y'all not gonna be just hanging out there with these niggas. They smoking, they doing this. It's not gonna happen up in my house. Not in my house. My mom was standing on that militant. Not that we even really wanted to do that. But she made sure discipline was a thing that was very much respected in our household. And let me tell you the truth. A mama growing 3 boys ain't easy. Okay? It ain't easy. So I give my mom all the credit. I ain't trying to say how my mama dealt with us. And by the way, I don't want nobody to know type of shit before I'm thinking mama definitely was like, no. She when it was necessary. When it was necessary. She wasn't fucking abuse. When it was necessary. Like, listen, one of the favorite sayings coming out of Jamaica, spare the rod, spoil the child. Which means all that shit, you don't put hands on your kids. That's some American shit. Spare the rod, spoil the child. If this nigga is disobedient, toting guns like this, if my mama ever see me like this, my mama would have probably beat me with my own gun. Come here, nigga. What the fuck you doing? My mama would have, come on. Spare the rod, spoil the child. You don't discipline your child, he toting a gun, shooting other niggas. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. I'm sorry. Let my mom have seen a picture like this. Oh my God, nigga, the shooter probably sent me back to go live with my harshest like uncle in Jamaica. Hell nah, you crazy? Put it like this. It's all about decorum and like these things gotta matter. I couldn't even curse around my mama. I like to the point that when I start cursing, like even not in her presence, I felt I was still doing something wrong because there was an established code of conduct and respect. And home training goes a long way. You think this little nigga just listened to 5 rap songs and just think it was cool to kill people, or you think that he was running amok in his motherfucking crib? You think they were telling this nigga a motherfucking thing to do? Take out the garbage. He probably said, suck my dick. You think I could talk like that? Oh my God. First of all, we used to watch, by the way, you know what I'm watching right now? The Vince McMahon shit. Oh, it's just so good. Oh my God. I'm like on 4th episode. My mom would have gave me a DDT and a stunner, nigga. Like, hell out of here. My mom was like that. Fuck that. What? You gotta have manners. My mom would spank, would give us a, let me call, y'all call it spanking. I'm calling it a beating. If you're not addressing even strangers or guests that's coming over as, good morning, Mrs. So-and-so. Good, like we're Jamaican, so we say good night even when we're not going to bed. Like it's just like a goodbye type of thing. Good night. Like you got to be mad respectful, bruh. You're not toting the fucking, like, come on, bro. I'm just telling you how I was raised. And I'm sorry with you. Listen, I know some of you little FBA niggas gonna be in here like, nah, what you talking about? Nigga, y'all do what y'all do. What my mama did with me worked, I'm gonna do it with my kid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody said beating your kids is traumatizing them. Man, get your stupid ass on out of here. Nobody's talking about just beating your kids. It's discipline. It's discipline. And let me tell you this. When you have boys, discipline has to be something that they respect. We're not talking about abuse. There was never a time that we ever got disciplined that we couldn't go to school because we had bruises. It doesn't work like that. But the discipline, and sometimes, here's the point. And I don't want y'all to be thinking like some crazy. It got to the point where my mom never even had to touch us. You didn't even want to hear her mouth. My mom would cuss for 15 hours straight. I don't know if you ever dealt with a Caribbean parent. My mama would cuss for 15 hours straight. She in the kitchen making us food. She's still cussing about what happened yesterday. Cuss. Bro, at the point where you don't even want to do nothing to hear her mouth. Mama, I'm telling you, my mom used to cuss for 15 hours straight. Never seen such a thing before. Oh my God. 15 hours, like, yo, to the point you'd be like, yo, I ain't gonna ever do that again. Like, yo, she won't shut the fuck. Yo, you can't say that. She won't shut up. You can't watch no TV because she's talking over the TV. If you turn the TV up, you're disrespecting, so she gonna get on your. So you gotta listen to her cuss 15 hours straight, and then she gonna call your aunt, and she gonna tell your aunt everything about you. Cut. Oh my God, that was just me though. Okay, I'm just telling you what worked for me. And when I see these little nigglets who just toting all type of guns, kill 5 niggas before they turn 18, I'm like, how was y'all parent life? Because, like, to keep it real, mine wasn't even that close. Yo, my mama showed up to a party. So my mom used to. So I told you my mom was a teacher, right? So she was. My dad was a teacher. My mom was a my dad was a principal. Mom was a teacher. They separated. We come over here with my mom. She has to go back to school while she's going back to school to get her the teacher's certificate, which is, by the way, this is why I love my mom. Like, who goes to school twice for the same shit? She gets a job as like a nursing assistant or whatever the case is. So she used to work and she used to get off at 11 o'clock. One day we go party. There was like was it like high school party or like, was it middle school? No, I think high school. We go, it was like at some little lodge, you know, little Masonic lodge bullshit that be in your town. We go there, it's like a whatever party, but I don't know if we had, I think we had told her we were gonna be back by almost the time she got off, right? Which is like she gets off at 11, but by the time she gets to the crib, it's like 11:30. We're at the party, we chilling, blah, blah. Let me tell you this, man. My mama embarrassing. My mama walked up to the party and grabbed the mic. She came to the party and grabbed the mic. Shouted out our names. Yo, the whole time, everybody be like, yo, what lame, man. We in there like, nigga, we trying to duck, but we not trying to really move too fast. Like, trust me, it's making parent embarrass the shit out of you, nigga. After that, nigga, we're like, yo, we good off of this shit, man. If we tell her a certain time we getting home at that time. She's embarrassing, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything she did, I'm not successful if it's not for her. So really, it's all about standing on business and knowing that when you have a child, you're responsible for that child. You can't have a child running amok with a fucking gun in his hand, just killing people and you not knowing and cutting off ankle. Like, first of all, if you got a kid that got an ankle monitor on, that's a problem. You're not doing your goddamn job. That's a fucking problem. You're right. So it's like, Livingston. I'm like, oh, no. Actually, she called me Junior because my dad, we had the same name. Junior! I'm like, oh, my God. Then she called my other brother name, and the whole time we looking at each other like, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, and the DJ, I think the DJ said, yo, the DJ repeated and be like, yo, come on, man, your mama here. Y'all got to get out of here that we can continue the party. So I'm like, God damn. Walked out of there, man. After that, we said, damn, we never miss curfew again. Fuck that. Y'all parents never embarrassed y'all? All right. Yeah, all right, man. Well, my parents has embarrassed the shit out of me. And it's embarrassing. They'll embarrass you to stand on business. And also, they're looking at it like this. Yo, you at this party, you told me, like, I'm trying to have a little trust with you. You told me you're going to be home at this time, but you think you could break the rules. Now, there ain't no rule breaking up in my house. It don't work like that. Rule breaking don't happen up in the house. Not with my mama. Anyway, salute to Mama Demics. I couldn't have picked a greater mom. You know, obviously, we live with our because she was married to my pops for a while, and then she divorced. Listen, I give her the ultimate credit for raising 3 boys and keeping every single one of us on a straight and narrow, man. She's good. Anyway, yo, TK, you know, just mixed thoughts when I think about him. Sometimes I feel like he should have had a second chance. If he was a different state, he would have a second chance. If it was California, he would have a second chance at life. He's in Texas, and there is no second chance. By the way, there's 2 murders, or 2 murder cases. So every time I see him, it's like, damn, opportunity lost. Feel bad for him. But then I got to remember the victims. There are people who died. There are people who never got a chance. The kid that he probably shot with that gun was allegedly hanging on to the car because they were stealing his camera equipment. And he was like, no, where's my camera? It was this Hispanic dude. And TK supposedly reached out the side of the window with a gun and shot the dude twice and left him to bleed out and die in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. That's how that guy died. He died in a Chick-fil-A parking lot, bleeding out. TK didn't double back. None of them doubled back. I know you can say they're kids, but the guy took his last breath in that parking lot. The other situation, they went to go rob somebody. I watched that court case. His whole angle was, yeah, I was involved in the robbery, but I ain't tell nobody to do the murder. He didn't fire the fatal shot on that one. Well, maybe that's your thinking because you're 15. But in the real world, if we all go do a robbery and one knucklehead kill the guy, we all kill the guy. That's how it works. So unfortunately, there is no grace for somebody who ends up being a murderer, especially when you have multiple murders in Texas. Texas don't play. And I think the only thing that he could, you know, hang his hat with, Texas will get you killed. Like I think they have the death penalty out there, right? Texas death penalty. They've led the nation in number of execution. Last execution was last year. So again, man, TK's a cautionary tale, but it is what it is, bro. Okay. By the way, shout out to my BLM scammers, man. Not gonna lie to you. We're not hearing a lot of people talk about this one. I remember when, has anybody seen my song? Remember when that nigga was everywhere. Picket fence, picket sign, all that type of shit. The former leader of Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta has been sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison for stealing nearly $500,000 from donors to fund a luxury lifestyle. The guy's name was Sir Major Page, and previously he was known as Tyree Conyers Page. He was convicted of money laundering and wire fraud at a trial in April. After George Floyd died, Hundreds of thousands of dollars were gifted to his nonprofit. He used the money to buy a home in Toledo, Ohio, and other luxury goods for himself. Now, I keep telling y'all about a lot of these bad actors when it comes to these pro-black situations. The people that be the most pro-black, whites acting like they're blacks, albinos, and mixed people. It's so funny. It's crazy. In my history of researching the most pro-black people of recent time, they all are white, mixed, albino. They all look black. You get what I'm saying? The furthest they look from black, the more they are black power. Interestingly enough. Now, I got to throw this to my man Tariq Nasheed, because apparently on this guy's Twitter, it says FBA. Now, according to Mr. Tariq Nasheed, and a lot of stuff he said, it's tethers. You know what's a tether? A tether is an immigrant who has gained citizenship through either marriage or some other way, but they're a immigrant. They're not a foundational black American, as FBA stands for. And those people, I've seen Tariq Nasheed basically say that most of the problems among the black community or problematic things stem from non-FBA, so people who are tethers and other things like that. Well, ain't it ironic that a self-identified FBA individual who was leading Black Lives Matter happened to be the person who scammed for $500,000. And I got to look up this article that y'all can see what the hell is going on. Look at this nigga. Look at him. Look at him. BLM 42 months. I want to read you some of the fuckery that homeboy was getting into, okay? So, by the way, this is the justice.gov website that tells you he got sentenced to 42 months and he defrauded people for over $450,000. Here's the thing. I want to show you, what's his name? Is it Sir Major Page? Okay, yeah, let's do that. And Sir Major Page. I want to show y'all where y'all little donation money went to. I got to show y'all this, chat. They say he used the money to buy a crib and buy escort. Okay? Now, despite claiming the funds were dedicated to the movement-related initiatives, authorities revealed that Page splurged on personal luxuries like furniture, entertainment, and a $112,000 house in Toledo, Ohio. While he tried to pass off the spending as a reasonable salary, he openly admitted he never consulted the organization about his compensation. He also spent an undisclosed amount of money on one sex worker. Okay? The latest conviction is not his first brush with the law. He had a troubling history of impersonating law enforcement in Georgia from 2014 to 2016. Okay? Essentially, what this has said, my boy took y'all hard-earned money that y'all were given for, I Can't Breathe with the George Floyd thing, and he bought pussy, house, furniture. I know his ass was up in no IKEA. He was spending y'all money good. And, he has been sent to jail, okay? By the way, he had lost his one of the reasons he got convicted, he did have let's not say legit, he did have a organization that was granted a nonprofit status by the IRS, which later got revoked because they didn't follow the terms, yet he kept telling people he had a nonprofit while people kept donating. So that's also a crime in itself. So he was purporting to have a nonprofit in terms of collecting donation money for a part of the time that his organization was no longer a nonprofit. So he got convicted for wire fraud, money laundering. Look, they've added my ad blocker. Here we go. And he will be having 3 years supervised release, okay? He was posing as a Black Lives Matter leader, And back in 2020, they raided his home, okay? They're saying a bank account named Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta was opened in 2018 with him being the only signatory on the account. The FBI said from April 2018 to May 2020, the account balance embedded and flowed, but never had a balance that exceeded $5,000. At one time, the account had negative $12.42. Between that time, they received $467,000 in donations. If you don't know what that means as soon as donations came in, the nigga was at the ATM taking them bitches out for himself. The FBI said that all the money was transferred to the Black Lives Matter of the Inc., which was owned and operated by him. According to the FBI, he responded to private social media inquiry message that funds have been donated to use to fight for George Floyd, and other funds have been used for personal items or movement related. However, FBI said that in June and July and August 2020, he repeatedly used a debit card linked to the same account to make purchases related to food, dining, entertainment, clothing, furniture, home security, tailored suits, and accessories. Largest purchase was from the account to a title company on April 21st for the purchase of a residence and adjacent vacant lot in Toledo in the 2000 block of Glenwood for $112,000. Open records show the house belonged to an organization called High Frequency. Page was one of the leaders of the organization. Page, so basically, he created a new company that he was trying to hide that he bought a house, right? So he didn't buy it under his name. He bought it under the name of a company that he was one of the leaders of. The FBI said he tried to hide his ownership in the real estate transaction, as I said, stating the non-disclosure agreement. So he did non-disclosure between High Frequency, Ohio, via Sir Major Page in the seller's agreement. In September 2020, the FBI and said Page used a personal bank account in his name to accept a transfer of funds from the Black Lives Matter account to purchase pistol and 2 rifles. Of course, you got to purchase a little Glockiana, okay? Numerous videos and live stream were now posted to his personal social media page, showing himself off to be what purchased new clothing, hotel rooms, and office space in Atlanta. According to the FBI, he spent $200,000 on personal items generated from donations, blah, 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 blah. Yes, guy was tweaking out. Again, we all love to support good causes and wholesome causes, and, rest in peace, George Floyd. But there was a lot of bad actors that really was operating on the slogan of Black Lives Matter. And clearly, we've seen Candace Owens expose a few of them, but we now know that the federal government did not take too lightly for these people to be operating as nonprofit organizations, but actually scamming and using those funds for escorts, furniture, new clothes, designer, and even cribs. Okay? Give me a second. What are we doing? All right. Real quick, I don't know if you have seen this. This is some streamer news, but I'll cover it really quickly. There's a streamer named Jack Doherty. And if you guys don't know, he was involved in a wreck in his McLaren 720. The price tag on that, if we're looking 2024, McLaren 720 is, what are we talking about in terms of price tag? Let's see. It's about a $500,000 car, okay? All right, so the base price is going to come to about $500,000 now, right? Now, you could probably find, there's certain like 750s and shit like that you could find for like $329, but let's just say $400,000. Let's just be, simple with it. So this guy is driving this really expensive car, $400,000, basically a house, and he's live streaming on Kick. Now, he's a really reasonably young guy. He has a really extensive car collection, but what ends up happening is that he's doing IRL. So someone's filming him while he's driving, and while he's driving, he starts checking his phone while it's raining. And you could imagine that hydroplane is a thing because his car is really not only, when you're driving a McLaren, these cars are really light. They're light, and there's a lot of power sometimes to the rear wheel which already encourages like, you know, fish tails and spin outs and stuff like that. And this is what happens when he was texting and driving on camera on stream. So he speeds up for a second. Loses control.
Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
So this is a car crashed.
Oh, Michael.
Trigger alert. His, you know, by the way, this guy, he's a content creator by heart. He didn't miss a fucking second. He didn't care what was going on if somebody died. He just wanted to get the content. He immediately went live. He immediately caught all the content. You're going to see his friend's face that has some blood on it, so trigger warning. Oh, sorry.
Are you okay? Yeah. Holy fuck. Oh my god, bro. My whole fucking car, bro. No fucking way. Oh my gosh. There's no fucking... Michael, here. Michael, do you have film on that phone too? No.
Okay. Somebody say crashed on purpose. I actually do not believe he crashed on purpose. I believe he hydroplaned while he was trying to speed up for the camera. Now, there's another video of him. Help! Before he got out the car, he was already filming. Look at this.
Help! Break the fucking window! Oh! Oh! Help! Oh, fuck, can you hold this? Oh, fuck. Oh. No.
Now, you got to admit, you got to give this guy credit for this level of filmery. He will not let go of the camera, and he has to make sure that he is centered in the footage. Okay? Even when being pulled from a car that's clearly totaled.
Oh, my fucking car, bro.
Yeah. Whole time he's looking at maybe the views. He's looking at his phone to make sure it's recorded.
Oh. Fuck, dude. My fucking car. Holy shit, no. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? No.
Now, all while that's happening, his friend that was bleeding that you saw before, his friend was trapped at this point. Look.
Michael, are you good? Oh, shit.
His friend is bleeding, holding his wrist. He's over here just making sure he gets the content.
Oh, fuck. Michael.
Okay. Now, apparently he addressed this